Hello, you're listening to the Eric McKenna Project.
Already rolling.
He is.
Yeah, so thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Fred, there's a lot of paper in this room that you and I don't have. You know, like there's a lot of education paper in this room.
Oh, I know.
We are not in the same realm here, so this should be quite fun.
That's why I'm drinking now.
What difference does
If
it
that's
make?
your excuse, okay.
Yeah, that's the excuse he will use. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. Again, I just want this to flow naturally. I'm sure it possibly will. Fred has decided that we're going to open up our last bottle of special scotch, which we shared with Jed, the first one, Jed Simon,
a
year ago.
Yeah.
And this is 17-year-old. What is
Where did you get this?
It was a gift from our good friend Robert Chapman back in the Boogie Street guitar years.
This was 17 years old in 2009. So we're drinking a 20...
Math.
Come on.
Math
people.
not
Let's
my
go.
thing.
We don't have paper.
We are.
I was letting these people...
We're worthy of this.
We don't have paper.
I was letting them jump in. So 17 years plus... that would be 2009 plus another 10.
And
So that's 27, 28, 29. So
I don't teach math, so that's good.
Teach math.
I'll check it out. It was distilled in 92.
1992. It was a good year.
So it was bottled in 2009.
So are you opening this now?
Yeah.
After he gives us a
Are we saying
dissertation.
are we saying goodbye to him now, or like is he gonna last?
He had to do something to get me on his
It
show
was
today.
nice meeting you.
I can probably accommodate that, maybe.
They make little tiny red Solo cup ones too. I've seen those before.
Red Solo Cup.
I mean, really.
Is that a song that you're working on?
Hold on. I'll get the solo cups. You dispense that.
Wait, I have a story about absinthe. You remember absinthe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wait. So my best friend from law school is from Prague. So he was bringing it in, before it was legal here. Because the legal absinthe here is a joke.
It's not real yet.
Right. Well, we were poor, right out of law school, and we would do shots before we went out for the night, so we didn't have to buy drinks. And so he's like, do 2 of these, and I'm like, okay. And it was like nothing, I'm like whatever. 4 to 5 hours later, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I drank.
I hallucinated people.
I drank a bottle of Green Fairy in Prague,
Yes.
and it took me 45 minutes.
Yes.
I chugged a fifth of Green Fairy absinthe.
Right.
We went to the Bone Church.
Okay.
And so in the time it took from getting from the Bone Church to Prague, yeah.
It was epic. But he still has some, and now he's a dad, and he's like,
I have 1 bottle left.
Yeah.
I was at the house. It just,
you
just sits
gotta
here.
decide when you want.
Yeah. You gotta decide when you really want to hurt yourself that bad.
But
Really?
where you're going to sit. You're going to sit back here. I got to do something.
I can't move?
You can mute. You have to relatively be in distance, or else you get an echo. It echoes. Natural reverb. Anyways, we're opening
I
this
feel
bottle,
like my
Robert.
microphone is closer to anyone else's.
Then you got to pull in.
Okay. Jesus. Eric McKenna Project. It's difficult.
All right. Are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Are you comfortable? All right.
Didn't ask me.
Fuck you, Fred.
I'm getting there.
So Robert.
Thank
Salute.
you, Robert.
Thank you. I don't drink anymore. I'm going to hear it. They will tell me if it's good or not. But
Oh, it smells good. Cheers, cheers,
Yeah,
cheers.
cheers.
salute. You can't raise.
I have my Glacier
Is that
Isle.
a Swickley thing? You just can't partake in that?
No, I have my...
With us common
My
folks.
goodness.
With us common folks.
Okay. Are we going there?
Wow.
if
That's
that's how
good.
we're starting, I'm going to stand up for my people.
For your people, your peeps.
Yeah.
Stand up for your peeps.
Are you laughing at me? Because this is going to
No,
be a
I'm not
thing.
laughing at you. No.
I'll tell you. I've
What a
met
difference across the river makes.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Well, they don't cross
I
the
wanna
bridge.
tell you-
They don't come to this side.
So wait a second. How did
I'm sorry, I'm
how
here.
did you manage? How did you manage going across the bridge today? How was that?
it took a GPS and
She looked both ways to make sure the neighbors weren't seeing her cross the
and
bridge.
5 mules. But listen, I've met the best people in Swickley.
I agree. some good food over there.
You know what?
Shout out to Vivo.
Yeah, totally. Love Vivos. Love Sammy. Love Lori.
Hey, I worked in Quaker Valley School District for a year before getting hired in Beaver Falls.
Really?
Yeah, it was two different worlds.
Two different worlds entirely.
All right, let's back it up. Because just because we live there doesn't mean we subscribe to the same whatever treatment you're putting on us.
You mean like Blonde Bob and the Ralph Lauren skirt
We're
and all
not
that
all
stuff?
tall blondes.
And the duck walk?
Or some of us are.
Nothing wrong with Ralph Lauren.
No. I mean, if you have a problem with successful people earning money, then I don't
have a problem with anything.
Now, there is a difference between that and then people being an asshole. That's where I go.
Yeah, I agree.
My friends are all awesome.
Cool. I get it. Salute to that.
Yeah.
Because I know plenty of asshole ex-friends that have no money.
Right.
Am I right? Sad, I know. So, anyways, how is everybody managing the pandemic? I mean, here we are. It's like the beginning of February. We've been doing this for almost a year now.
Ridiculous,
right?
yeah.
And, of course, we were going to flatten the curve. 14 days to flatten the curve. What, 10 days to flatten the curve, or 7 days to flatten the curve, or what were we told? The problem was they put men in charge of that, and no man in the right mind is going to know how to flatten the curve. I'm not going that direction. Had they put women in charge from the beginning, we'd be done with the pandemic by now. But that's just, look what happened, right? Look what happened. Laugh. That was funny. That was supposed to be a joke.
Oh my God, Eric,
this is
you're
going to
so
be
great.
a tough crowd.
I
this
also
time.
think it's where you met the pandemic that matters.
Okay, what do you mean?
Like I was...
In some sleazy dive bar, where'd you meet the pandemic?
No, I meant my pandemic.
What's a
with
girl
my
like you doing in a place like this?
How you doing?
How you doing, huh?
Okay.
You want me to take your breath away?
Yeah, exactly. He almost did. No, it matters where you were in life when the shutdown happened.
Right.
And no one believed that
It's
it
on
would
top
be
of the
that
world.
long. Right. All right, easy on the whatever that is. But in my personal situation, I was going through a whole change in life. My husband left me in January, and I have 4 little kids, and it was like another layer of something. Honestly, it helped me because then my kids were home, and we were all in a little bubble, and they didn't have to go to school where they were working through their emotion, and so it helped me. It really did.
Okay, so how old are your kids?
Okay. So my girls are 10.
I like how you all did that.
My girls are 10.
Inspiring
they're
against
twins?
This, you know.
They're twins.
I'm a twin, too.
Are you?
I have a twin brother.
Awesome. So they are fraternal. So I have twin girls and then 2 boys. So I had my girls November of 2010. My son was born September of 2011, so they're all the same age for 6 weeks. And then I had my last boy a week before my girls turned 2. So I have 4 kids in 2 years. So
I'm just going to call you Myrtle.
yeah, fertile.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
But what's good about it, there's pros and cons to anything, you know. But they're awesome. They get along well and all, you know. But it's a lot.
I can't imagine that many in the house and they can't go anywhere, and you got to teach them. So my question is, this is a really good question because I have an educator here, but your children are older. You have youngsters, and you're stay at home now with them.
Yeah.
So what is it like being a parent of school-age children in the pandemic?
Well, first of all, I want to say that the teachers are doing an amazing job because, first of all, they have had to redo their whole approach to teaching
To figure it all out.
Yeah.
It was stressful.
right.
Yeah.
And they've done an amazing job. They really have. I mean, when we were on Zoom, like they have it down. Like I can just do whatever I need to do, but it's awesome. The teachers are doing a great job. Yeah.
You have little ones.
No, I feel really badly for parents because some have to go to work, and then what do you do with these kids that they don't go to school every day? Or you now have to educate not just one child, but different grade levels
And
help
special
them.
needs,
Yes,
or whatever.
These little ones can't just log on and and do it themselves. So it's like a full-time job being a mom and a teacher.
So do you think this is going to be just a lost year? I mean, if
I
we
hope
slowly come
not.
back, if we slowly come back maybe toward the end of the year, so next spring at this time, or next winter at this time, we're pretty much opened up. I'm assuming stuff. Is this school year, this second half of the, I guess it's 2020 school year, technically, right? Is it going to be, when we look back on it, is it a big loss? Is it a loss? Is it a...
I don't think so. Here's why.
Not if you're doing it right.
Okay.
Right now, if you're doing it right, and also it depends on like QV right now. We're 4 days in. Some school districts are.
We're not. We're still hybrid.
And then some parents choose to keep their. But in any event, whatever you choose, which is you're right, and that's great, is gone are the days when we were young, or when
Great.
you know how you used to like fail a grade. That doesn't really happen anymore.
It's hard. It's hard to fail.
Yeah. So the school
Parents have
district,
to
they really
agree.
keep you up
Yeah.
to stuff on what you need to know. They really do.
So kids can't just like get held back anymore unless the parent is...
Has to be on board.
Huh. That's different.
So it's all. I feel like it's all good, and it's all they know right now.
Are they learning?
Yes, I feel. Subjectively, I mean, maybe different.
Could they be doing more? Yes. Like sometimes I'll video something and I get 4 views out of 20. You know.
Wait, what do you mean? Help me out. Understand
Well,
that.
will video a lesson or
Okay.
And she could
then
tell when the
when
parents
I'm on
go
Class
in.
Dojo, so then
So it's
I
not.
can
Is
see.
it live? Can you see them?
No,
No,
she can tell. She can tell when it's done.
I can see how many views I posted a lesson or a story I've read or something, and I can see, okay, I had 18 views or I had 4 views. Well, what'd you do all day? That's still counting as an online school day.
Yeah.
So my daughter's a senior, and she's maneuvering it fine. I mean, it's not utopian. It's not what she wants, being a senior in high school. So I don't. I was telling Fred prior, I don't feel bad, like horribly bad for them. I know a lot of the mantras. Oh, they're missing their senior year. Oh, they're missing out on this life experience. That's true. But if this is the worst thing that happens to them, they missed the prom. It really, in the big picture of things, let's get on with it. Let's quit coddling. Be sensitive,
and also, I
but
think
let's quit coddling.
a lot of parents feel like they live their best childhood, so now they want all their kids to have the same thing, and they don't need it.
Right.
But you're like, oh, it's so fun. Well, for us, but they don't. I mean, it's their life now. It's their reality, and half of them don't want to be in school anyway.
Yeah.
So, where were you when? Let me ask this question because it seems to be a good one on this show. Where were you when you realized that, or you believed that this pandemic wasn't just something in the news that was happening overseas or in the UK? All of a sudden, like, wow, this might really happen to us. Like, or where were you and what were you doing when you realized it was going to happen? Like, we're going to get shut down. They're going to shut us down.
Well, having Chad work at the Brighton Rehab, the nursing home where it was the hot spot in Beaver County with everyone getting sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, that was national news.
Huh.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, they had the, what came in? What military something came in?
National Guard?
Yeah, came in to help out, but
Really? Mm-hmm. That was that nursing home?
yeah.
Wow.
And he had COVID. I think I had it in March.
Wow.
But then, I don't know.
So you knew because he was being thrust upon you immediately through
Well,
his work.
yeah, people were dying in there.
Ugh. So that was that place, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quite close.
Where were you?
When the school shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you didn't
School
believe
shut
it until
And
damn
I
it,
really-
they're not going
yeah.
to school.
And I still didn't believe it.
Yeah, I didn't-
I still didn't believe it. But
I didn't think it would be shut down for as long as it was. So
Yeah.
Where were you, Fred? I think you've told me, but I can't remember.
Were you brushing your hair somewhere?
I was brushing my hair.
You were telling hair stories.
I was making a TV show.
writing a
You're
comic
making
book.
a Pantene Pro V commercial.
Yeah, I was writing a Pantene commercial.
Oh, don't do this.
No, I was we were at work. We were making a TV show And they came in and said, all right, drop what you're doing and go home. And that was it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we just went home. They just shut us down right there. It was, they got the first case in Allegheny County, and within 2 hours, we were sent home. We were done. Hollywood rules.
And that was that before the rest of the society was shut down?
No, we shut down March 13th.
Okay.
So that was a Friday. So
What was the official shutdown for Pennsylvania? What was the date? Did you
It
know?
was like St. Patrick's Day
yeah, it was
because
March.
I was at a dinner at Vivo
Okay.
for, I feel like that week.
Was the 16th? Was it March
Yeah,
16th or
it
something?
was like
March.
yeah,
That's what I thought too.
yeah.
I remember being told I can't work. That was strange. Like you can't come into the brokerage office. You can't be in front of any clients. You can't write real estate offers. You can't list properties. You can't go into a. You can do nothing. And I said, I can't. Wait. Time out. I can't work. You're telling me I can't work, but I'm not salaried, so I don't have a regular income coming in. But I can't work. Like, how's that work? Like I wasn't luckily in a situation where I had to worry about it too much, thankfully. But it still was almost like robbing me from my ability to earn money, which is just so strange to me. And then I found out what a television is. Because I don't watch TV, but man, I found out right away what TV is. And that's a fucking bat wasteland there, man. So kids stay home. Like, how did you, this is a fascinating question. How did you explain to your children initially what we were doing?
It's very simple. Kids are simple. So I
Okay.
said, well, there's a virus out there,
yeah.
and here we go.
Even my kids in pre-K, they know all about the virus.
Yeah,
There's a
and
virus.
they're like, so we have to wear masks, we have to do this. Let's get on with things. Like it was harder for adults to be like, wow, okay, now here we are. I have 4, and I live in a condominium, so there's 4 kids in 4 rooms doing Zoom, and I mean, it's not the ideal thing, but I'll tell you, for your work, I mean, that sucks.
Yeah.
But for teachers, I mean, kids legally have to go to school.
Right.
So you're kind of set either way.
Yeah. And all these teachers, we didn't sign up to teach cyber school. So
No.
we
Right.
had to figure out how to do it.
Right.
Okay, did you ever see in Schitt's Creek where you fold in the cheese when David and his mom were baking something and they're like, well, David, you fold in the cheese, and they're like, well, how do you do it? And she's like, just do it, David. Just fold in the cheese. Well, they did some kind of meme with teaching like that. You just teach, like you're just teach online when no one's telling you how to do it, but you just do it, and you're like, how?
Yeah. The teachers, and I don't want to put you in a tough spot, but that's what we do here. The teachers are, in some parts of the country, pushing back, in the bigger cities because they're afraid to go back, I think. They're afraid of getting sick and probably afraid of infecting their students. Yeah. And, of course, the governments and the parents want that,
they want their kids
they
back
want their
to
kids
school.
back because they want I think we're craving some kind of normality, right? So.
And it's different for like the high school and the
Yeah.
middle school didn't come back, but the elementary kids did because they're not
That's where I'm at. I'm all elementary. Yeah.
to get it.
Yeah, so it's.
I'd rather be back and be normal.
Yeah, the obviously the online stuff is required because there's no other options. But when I asked about a lost year, my point of a lost year was, bigger context. Like, are we going to look back on this, including the educational part,
I
and
think
say
so.
we were stunted? Like, just even because I've had conversations with Fred and many guests here that we kind of, like, society, we've lost a year. Like, we spend a whole year fighting with each other, and doing a lot of weird thinking and a lot of rational fears when we should have been productive in our normal life and accomplished things and moved on and did dynamic stuff. And a lot of us have been, not all, everybody, a lot of us have been stifled. Are we going to look back at this and like, wow, that was a freaking waste of a year of our
I would
life?
have been dynamic this year.
Well, okay, I'm just saying.
In terms of children, I don't think elementary is fine.
There you go, Slim.
I'm not moving.
I just no. I just want to make sure I can hear you well. That's all.
I'm right here.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
All right.
I think elementary's fine. I think transitional years like middle school or like junior to senior is going to be more,
Yeah.
my kids are fine.
Yeah, the older grades are doing more synchronous learning where it's like they're actually, you have to, if 9:30 is your English class, you're got to get beyond by 9:30 and participating.
Okay.
So
What about the broader concept of society? When you went out shopping, let's say, do you remember the first time you went out right after the pandemic? And did you have a feeling that it was odd? Did it feel goofy? Because for me, it did. I remember being at, of all places, 2 days after they shut us down, I went to, it was Sam's Club. And first off, there wasn't any meat. There wasn't any toilet items. There was nothing. So that was almost dystopian, like a movie. And I got this mask on, and I don't know how I had a mask on. It was one of those gator masks. I'm walking around and everybody's looking at each other like they're suspicious of something. Like you're almost incriminating the person or you're feeling, and I thought, I feel guilty of something and I haven't done anything, but everybody's looking at me like I just stole something.
Because you're walking through a store with a mask on.
I guess, man. But that, so I always remember going to the Sam's Club as part of like when I really understood this is really an effed up situation. Beyond me not being able to work, this is messed up. Like something is really bizarre. So where were you when you did you have a feeling like that? And if you did, or you just kind of glided into it, it didn't seem strange to you?
But again, I feel like it's my status as a mom. Like, I glide into shit all day long. So it's like, all right, that happened next. I have to deal with it, so I'm going to deal with it.
I get it.
It didn't affect me really at all.
So shopping didn't seem strange to you? Or just
Shopping's always strange to me because I have 4 kids.
what was really bad for me is that Cass, my oldest, had her baby and we couldn't go to the hospital. That was devastating.
Oh, that's
During that.
horrible.
Like you can't.
Yeah.
Like for that experience you want to have, and
Of course.
you couldn't.
Of course. Huh. So shopping didn't freak you out. Shopping freaked me out. It was because that's the only time
I hate shopping,
I was
so
around
I
groups
like
of people.
necessity.
Like because what I do, I'm usually with clients, like 2-3 people. That's it. I'm not. Your whole life has been spent with audiences and big groups of people. So where were you when you found out? And then, I mean, you've never spent so much time at home ever.
You know what's great though, and I say this because people bitch at me. People bitch at me to this day is you just sit there. That's all I do in a hotel room. You know what I mean? It got to the point where we're traveling all the time that every day I was in a hotel room. So I didn't mind being in a room with a bed and a television and a laptop because that's all I ever did anyway. And people say, how can you just do that? Just sit there. I was kind of prepping for a pandemic, I guess, because at one point, because when you're with TSO and it's wintertime outside and you're in Buffalo, you don't want to go outside.
I'm from Buffalo.
I know you're from Buffalo.
Okay.
Unless you're going down to like Johnny Chow's, bar down there, Mr. Chow's. But that's across the street from the hotel. I'm not going outside in Buffalo when it's that cold. So I've prepped myself to just, that's my thing now. I just stay out of the bar but so I'm used to it. I've seen my other friends that are going stir crazy going, how can you just sit here? You got to get out of the house. It's like, I have to get out and get away. Well, good. You go and we'll see you in the ICU. No, maybe I won't because I'm not allowed in the hospital. So good luck with that. But literally, when this first started, I saw one package of napkins, like Bounty napkins, and they were on a shelf. And I watched a man push a woman out of the way to get a man in a suit, or like a professional man, like a jacket.
Oh, I stopped wearing suits.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't want to be
Still
recognized.
looking for me.
I watched a guy, a woman was going to reach for it, and I watched a guy, a professional-looking guy with no mask, push the woman and take the napkins. And it was just like, that's messed up. You know what I mean? On any level. so it was like, wow, this is a real thing. And, and then, with the liquor stores closing.
Oh, man. I was driving to Ohio.
Yeah. You got to stock up early, you know what I mean, for that. You get the delivery. Like some states have delivery service, and it's just like, oh, well, But yeah, so I mean, so it was a good thing I was stocked up because, but the first couple days, that's all you did was just sit around and, then I had like things I could do at the house that, started the book.
I think,
but things along those lines, you're forcing yourself. And here we are almost, 10 months into it. Mm-hmm. And I'm still trying to find some kind of a rhythm. Mm-hmm. And, because you never plan for this. I mean, I didn't plan for this, but the great thing is I'm somebody that works 18 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Right.
And it's like you're begging for that vacation, and it's great for the first week. And then after that, it's just like, it sucks, man. I want to go back to work. So I really want to, I'm looking forward to going back to work.
So nothing really has changed for you, though, in terms of because the routine, the kids are home more.
Kids are home.
But there's still structure there. You don't find it hard, like herding cats to get them all to?
Well, no. I mean, now
that's my job, herding cats.
I mean, now they're back in school 4 days a week. They have Wednesday off.
Okay.
But the hint that they might. I'm assuming after Easter we'll have another 2 weeks off because they anticipate family gatherings, and then they want to quarantine, whatever.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine.
I don't know anymore.
I'm literally as long
as
I can be a stay-at-home mom, I'm fine catching all. I'm a goalie, like I'm good. But the funny thing with this Valentine's Day, you know how you send in Valentines for okay. This is and I love everybody, but you've filled out the little Valentines. We have to put them in a Ziploc.
I hate that holiday, by the way.
I know. But here's the deal.
I'm not fond of it either.
So here's the deal. So we had to put all the Valentines in Ziplocs.
And they spray them?
No. Drop them off. And they quarantine the Valentines.
Yep. Our treats are supposed to come in the day before,
now,
and they're going to spray
here's what
them.
I find is funny. Ziploc keeps things fresh. So if my fingerprints and whatever is in a Ziploc with my kid's name on it, you're gonna open that shit and it's gonna be fresh as day one.
Yeah.
So if the disease or virus is in there, then it's fine. Whatever. Meanwhile, I'm sending dittos back and forth all day long with my teachers.
Yes.
And it's like the book bag and all the folders in it that you're touching are I don't understand the quarantine. I think it was meant as an appeasement for people who
the school districts had to put a plan together.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so that Wednesdays are deep cleaning days. What are they doing different for deep cleaning?
Okay.
Than every day.
They come in and they
weren't they cleaning it all prior?
There's like a Clorox spray. They come in with this machine.
Which, by the way, would probably kill us faster than...
it makes your papers curl up. Mm-hmm. It's killing my one plant. I don't know, but...
It's not a good sign.
Germs are good to get a good immunity. Just get the germ.
But here's the deal. With schools, I'm not saying this with schools and teachers because they're all amazing. Their hands are tied.
No question.
Their hands are tied.
No question. I agree.
And they probably can't say it, but they appreciate the sentiment I'm giving, which is it's ridiculous to quarantine Valentine's Day cards in Ziploc bags. I mean, Ziploc should sue them. Don't you think?
I think Ziploc's thanking them because they're selling a lot of Ziploc bags.
But the whole premise is it's fresh.
For the freshest viruses.
I mean,
I
come
know.
on.
Well, at least they're not licking the envelopes because that really transfers the...
Wait a second.
No, they just licked their masks.
That was a really...
Yeah, so that's what I want.
Exactly.
We had a little conversation before we started, and that's still freaking me out that you said you teach preschool, right?
Uh-huh.
Or kindergarten, right?
Okay.
So yeah,
This is why I don't.
Their
This is
masks
why I don't
get
hang
wet.
out with little kids.
It's hard for them to keep
They're
it up. They
eating
want
the-
a mask break. They want to take it off.
Do little
and-
kids feel masks are cool in the beginning? Do they feel
No.
like they're kind of cool, like it's something weird and different, like that
The
superhero?
little kids don't.
They don't like it at
Superhero?
all.
They don't. huh?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously you're washing faces all the time and runny noses and kids taking their index finger and diving in their nose and their
Yeah.
ears and their mouth and all that stuff is now exacerbated because you all have another object on their face.
And then you get that one kid who's always like, pull your mask up. Pull your mask up. Pull your mask up.
Oh. But you're telling them or they're telling you?
No, they're telling
Yeah.
everyone else. I just don't want to wear mine.
Do you, in society, do you see those kind of mask police? Have you encountered any of those out and about with people?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, 'cause I'm that one in Walmart that I like. If there's no one in the aisle, I
Try to breathe.
I witnessed one. It was all political. It was before the election.
Right.
So I was, whatever. I don't know. It was stupid.
What about you, Fred? You encounter people with mask police. If
Fred's
you,
enjoying
if you
his
forget your mask, all you do is put your hair
Scotch
over
from
it.
That's just,
1962.
You got a built-in mask, pal. It's a beautiful thing.
No, but I laughed at. There's a place on 51, Rowdy Barbecue, and I go there a lot. It's really good barbecue. Shout out to Rowdy on 51.
Right on. Right
but
on.
Rowdy on 51. But someone came up to the window the other day, and they say, when you come up to the window, because it's a small place, please wear a mask. And someone took offense that they asked them to wear the mask because literally people come up and they try to stick their head in the window to order. It's just like, no, you just put the food on. And so the guy got mad and he spit all over the window.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
what?
So now somebody has to come and clean up somebody else's spit because some asshole won't wear a mask. And that's all you got to do. It's what, 5 seconds? Come up, get your food. Everybody's happy. Just do it. It keeps it's for my safety and your safety. But in all honesty, you see these people that just take. So somebody, they had them on channel, like they had the restaurant on channel 11 yesterday. But I mean, people take things to extremes about getting upset about wearing a mask. Nobody likes to wear it. Yeah, it's something different. But you know what? I'm going to do it. I do it. When for what I'm doing is, I got another TV show coming up. I've got a commercial coming up, and so they're asking that you have to wear a mask the entire time you're on set.
Say no.
Exactly, and so I'm quarantining. I'm a germaphobe. So listening to you guys talk about kids and slobber and snot, shit like that.
Welcome to your world.
I'm sitting here cringing because I my hand sanitizer's in the other room and I just can't, But yeah, I mean, we get COVID tests, at least once a week. When I'm going to be, on set again, it's going to be 3 times a week. You get a COVID test. I'm quarantined and I'm staying kind of distant, but it's a weird thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be expected to wear a mask for 18 hours a day, and that's just how it is.
Funny, you only hear about COVID. You don't hear about the common flu we would
I don't
normally
even
hear
think,
about right now.
I don't even think that they're even taking those statistics.
What
Right now.
what I briefly read over something yesterday is it's knocked out just about every other kind of, because people are washing. And
So
people,
what were these fucking slobs doing
Disgusting.
before?
We were all
Right?
disgusting
I mean,
before.
come on, man. You gotta tell people
it's
to wash their
reducing the
hands.
numbers of flu and other virus-borne
Oh, my
diseases
God.
because people are actually, and that's what
Keeping themselves clean.
Well, the thing was, is you and I have talked about this on other shows. Wash your hands. You're supposed to.
Yeah.
You just don't pick your nose. You're supposed
All the time.
cover your mouth when you
Yeah.
sneeze. You're supposed to. But yeah, so this mouth and this the mask and the procedures that are following are wiping out everything else but COVID. And that just probably just shows you how contagious that it is. But the thing is it's actually having an effect on the other numbers of contagious diseases because people are finally, most people, nice people that don't spit on things, are finally washing their hands, or they're using hand sanitizer, or they're doing things that they should have been doing to begin with.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll tell you one thing, though. I really believe this wholeheartedly, and I've thought this way for a long time. I think the average person's got bad hygiene,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
so.
Amen.
Because we see, now I don't know what you ladies just casually observe when you go to a public restroom. But I will tell you, in any eatery I've ever been in, from a dive bar to a high-end restaurant, I don't go in the mission. I don't go to the restroom with a mission. But obviously, when you're doing your thing and you're washing your hands and you kind of observe people coming and going, it's amazing the amount of people
They just walk out.
that walk out with never
Yeah.
even, humor me. Turn the spigot on,
Something.
do something.
My ex-husband,
It's
who did
crazy.
food sales, would
It's
always
crazy.
say like one time I did a delivery for him for a restaurant in Beaver, and I'm like, that kitchen was disgusting. He's like, yeah, that's one of the better ones.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, I never want to eat out.
Yeah, I just think as a society in general, we probably needed to hear, wash your goddamn
Yeah,
hands.
wash your hands. When you come home, every time, wash your hands after the gym, wash your hands. Are any of you getting the vaccine, or did you?
I'm going to get it when it's available.
I mean, you're in the older bracket.
I'm not
so
that
you should
old.
be getting it soon.
I should get it before all y'all.
Yeah.
My middle daughter got it, but she
Okay.
felt put on the spot. She's a nurse in the NICU at Children's.
Which one did you get, Moderna?
Probably.
I don't know which one, but
Maybe that's the only one that's available. I don't know.
and like the second shot made her really sick.
Really?
Yeah, like to where she
Everyone's
thought she was
saying
gonna pass
that.
out.
Everyone's saying the second shot levels you. Yeah.
But she
It's the reaction of the body to it's natural to killing it off.
Yeah.
My sister's a nurse, and when she
Yeah.
got the second one,
Yeah.
that's what they told her.
Not everybody, though. I've known plenty of people that got it and didn't feel anything.
yeah.
well, they probably don't feel anything in general.
I never get a flu
There's
shot.
a lot of dead people floating around. There's no doubt. You don't get a flu shot? Yeah. I
Working with kids, I think I just built up the immunity. Like it don't.
because they're snot nosed, slobbery,
They are.
lollipop,
Hey, listen.
fucking dropping little kids. That's the most
I'm going to
disgusting
bring my
thing in
kids
the
next
world.
time, and Uncle Freddy's going to be
that
in
will,
a day with
that
hugs.
will, yeah, that'll definitely freak Freddy out. There's no
God.
doubt about it, man. I've never seen Fred afraid of much, but I've been in some stores with Fred where there would be a boatload of young kids coming his way, and he will run
Nasty
Well, he's probably
like
scared.
a little sissy.
Eric.
No, years ago
Eric.
he was this way.
He's
Years
probably,
ago.
Eric, he's probably scared they're his.
I had to look at this today. I'm like,
Daddy.
how much baby puke is on this today?
Great.
Puke.
Or is it
Great.
baby puke?
Yes, yes.
Ah, cha-ching.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where to go with that. I get it. I just think hygiene in general is just really, really poor. And how far have we fallen as a society that we don't?
Well,
not
no,
keep
we're
ourselves
better as a society now than we were years ago. So
clean? Yeah.
And
But-
also, the same people bitching about wearing a mask are the same people that follow the speed limit on the way to the restaurant, that are, doing their jobs at work within the codes. And now, because they have some political stance, they're like, oh, I'm not going to wear my mask. Oh, because you're doing everything else that the government tells you. But
Well,
this
of
one,
course. Well,
this one,
they feel entitled. See,
you're going to use it as your soapbox. You're doing everything else in life that
Go
the
ahead,
government
Fred. I
tells
know
you.
you want to get. Go ahead, Fred. You're so right. I mean, that's been Freddie's complaint from the beginning too.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to just common courtesy? Look, we're not scientists.
Right.
We don't play them on televition. I
The
barely
same men will
graduated
open
high
a door
school.
for a lady. I'm not wearing my mask, though.
But I'll touch that door handle.
Exactly.
So yesterday I stopped in at I'm not going to say where I went, but I went to a local
come on.
establishment. No, I went to a local establishment
Local
that has good
establishment.
food, but it was busy. I went in there to see a friend there, and I figured, okay, so I had my mask on. I went in, and I only know places that I go where it's an eating establishment. The bars are shut down. Applebee's being a good example.
yeah, we hate that restaurant. Go ahead.
But the bars are shut down. Applebee's has good food. I will tell you, Applebee's has good food.
They do.
They do.
McKenna Project brought to you by
Exactly.
your local establishment with good food.
Yeah, this is not Applebee's I'm talking about. I went to another establishment yesterday, and I went in there, and there were people sitting at the bar.
Was it Chili's?
No. No. It wasn't a chain. It was people.
Was it Mad Max?
People sitting at the bar.
Flingers.
I
from
thought
the office.
I thought that
space.
wasn't. I thought that wasn't
Flingers.
allowed.
What?
Oh,
What
I
was-
think it is now.
The bar was packed, and people were rammed in, and it
yeah.
felt like pre-COVID days. And I'm sitting at a table waiting for this guy to show up, and I went outside and called him and said, "We're not going to meet here." I got people brushing my shoulder.
I
people
do the
just
same
walking.
thing,
I
man.
mean, you know what? I'm just not ready yet. I mean, it might be okay, and I'm not overly paranoid. But in that last night, I felt really uncomfortable. Like, this is just society's not ready to be like that. That was pre-COVID. That was concert times, man.
Is COVID though still that bad? When's this going away?
I mean,
Like,
I don't
when
think
is
that's
it
on the
ever
table.
It's
I'm a
not
skeptic.
if people keep sitting shoulder to shoulder
Well,
in a
I'm
bar.
a skeptic. I'm a skeptic that maybe it is overblown completely. I just maybe they've conditioned me to feel so gorked that I just was uncomfortable. Opened up that way where people, because I'm sitting at a table that's next to the bar, and in another row of tables against the wall. So in the middle, there's a row of tables. I'm at that middle row, so people are passing me on both sides. And it's a square table, 4 seats, and people just passing me, waitresses, waiters walking past, owner walking past, no one masking to go to the bathroom.
But the thing
Leaving
is,
the table,
let's
no
all
one's
go-
masking.
you
Let's
put
all go
yourself
back,
in that
yeah.
position.
No one's masking.
And let's all go back to school. Let's just send all these kids back to school. So if we can go back to school, I think everything else should be.
Well, here's the deal. School's different because school is
But
legally
carefully, though.
obligation. Restaurants aren't. But you put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
so
left.
here's the deal.
I'm not complaining
School,
about it.
You can't compare schools with restaurants. You just can't. I have to legally send my kid to a
Right,
school.
right.
Okay. So the thing is, I feel if you're nervous, stay home. If you have underlying conditions, if you're a cancer survivor, whatever, stay home.
100%. I agree.
You know, and if we want to go out as a fortunate few that can, then use precautions. That's all.
I have no
The problem
desire
is
to
There
go
there
out.
wasn't any precaution.
The problem is other people don't take the precautions.
Right.
I mean, I actually had the same argument with a friend of mine that said the same thing. Well, you know, if you're afraid to go out, don't go out. It's
go.
your choice.
Yeah.
But you know what? Wear a mask. If somebody else would wear a
But
mask,
see, we are, and it's not helping.
yeah, well, no. But I'm saying is
I
other
think it
other
is. Numbers
people
are down.
other people are
If
sitting
they've been
around.
down, they go back up.
Yeah, other people they don't care. You know, I care,
and that's
I'm being
and
courteous.
that's what we're facing in society.
Yeah.
We can't exclusively, and I don't want it to be this way, but we can't exclusively hang out with like-minded people because we're meeting people at random in social settings.
All right,
Yes.
then I'm leaving.
Okay, you have the right to do that. But I left.
But it also
yesterday.
ruins your day because now
Well-
you have to leave because this asshole's spitting on a window.
I
Yeah.
just like I said, and you're right. I
mean,
it
that's-
was probably fine, and no one's going to catch it in there. But I just don't know, and I'm already conditioned to do the right thing.
I don't wanna take the chance.
right thing, and I just and you're right. The mask might not have prevented anything, but I just wasn't ready yet, me personally, to have people, strangers, bumping into me like pre-COVID days, which I would never gave a thought of. I'm not there yet, and especially, hate to say this, but when you see. How do I say this? When you see drunks, I mean people that go to bars. Sorry, Fred.
I have no
Sorry.
idea what you're talking about.
I mean, when you see people that really go in there to get really crushed, and you can tell they're regulars. They're not putting masks on to go to the bathroom. They don't walk in there with masks. They're walking in and out of the bar, smoking outside. So they're just coming in and out. It's nothing in that place resembled a COVID or pandemic era. It resembled February of last year.
Well, I'm sure these same people drink at home, so stay home.
That's what I do.
I think they have the right to be there. I just didn't feel
They
comfortable.
have a
So I
right
left.
to be
So I
there,
left.
but-
I left. But it was
Yeah.
a shame. And maybe it didn't mean anything, but had they been masked and doing some kind of social distancing, I would have felt better.
Like, just
You know?
when's this going to end?
I don't know.
How long do we do this?
So they said, had we
We have no paper, Fred. I'm going to say that before we.
so had they from what I understand, I read an article that said if they would just
Shut down for 2 weeks total.
comply
Everybody.
3 weeks, it would reduce the numbers by tenfold, and so you'd have it wouldn't be as long as it was. But because people are still fighting, it's my constitutional right not to wear a mask.
Yeah.
It's like you're an idiot.
Yeah, didn't China do that? They were mandated to, like, you had to stay home, and they all followed
Yes.
it.
But is
and
that
then
good?
Well, it worked.
Is that
and
good?
look at New Zealand and Australia. Granted, they're islands, but they put a strict set of rules on what, and they massed up.
How about this? How about this? What does this say about the American people when we already think that we are the biggest, the baddest, the coolest, the smartest? We already believe this about ourselves. We just do, because we were raised that way, and our parents were raised that way. Okay,
USA.
American exceptionalism, right? So we believe this to be true, but what does it say when we don't care enough about each other or the quote-unquote greater good that other countries that are actually can take care of their fucking business, where obviously we don't care enough about each other? We don't.
It's because it's the pursuit of your own happiness trumps everything. It is, honestly, I have my social media is flooded with be happy at any cost. To anyone.
At any cost.
We can go into that whole social media
this
thing.
Is why
That's ridiculous.
This is why families break up every day. This is why people don't wear masks. It's the same vein.
Yep.
It is me
so
before
it's
you.
Selfishness. It's
absolutely.
it's core.
And this is
absolutely.
This is where
I can't stand.
This is
social.
why civilizations decline, man. You know, they think that they're better than everything else.
Look at history.
Well, that's exactly it.
But we don't look. You know why, Fred? Because we're so goddamn lazy in the era we're living in. And no one reads. No one wants to exercise their brain. Let's go to social media. But I got to get this out, because this is the biggest pet peeve I've had. I've spoken with Rocco Koza and just so many people on the show about it. We do not do critical thinking. And I don't mean critical thinking in regards to engineering or analytics. I'm talking about things you learned in grade school. Reasoning.
Don't even teach cursive writing. How are you going to ever sign your name on anything?
Well, we don't. What about in your brain rationalizing circumstances? Like, our kids can probably do it right now, but their parents and their grandparents cannot. Like, when I was in school in the dark ages, when I was in school, as all of you learn how to think and you read. That's what teachers, thank you. Teachers teach us, right?
You ask questions.
When you saw a circumstance in life, whether it's on the school, whether it's in the school, whether it's on the schoolyard, on the playground, in the street, or with your friends, you have to sum up a circumstance, look at the reasoning, make deductive reasoning. You know, we didn't even know those big words, but we did that stuff, and we made a decision based upon obtaining facts.
Higher order thinking.
Thinking for ourselves. We are so goddamn lazy as human beings, and I mean it reaches every demographic. We're so lazy and so spoon-fed that we will not critical think before we open our mouth, or heaven forbid, take a fucking action. And our lives, the lives of our children, the lives of our neighbors, the lives of our businesses. Yes. We feel entitled that we should have the right. We feel entitled that we should have the right answer given to us. We shouldn't have to fucking think.
Don't give everybody a trophy.
Is insane. You have got to be able to think before you act. Our prisons are flooded right now with people overall that have no impulse control, right? But it isn't just our prison systems. We're dealing with no impulse control all bloody fucking day.
Yes.
All day long.
Yes.
Can't we just take a breath? Oh, think. Oh, maybe that network is really trying to get me to think a certain way. Maybe I really don't believe that. Or maybe that network's trying to make me think the other way. Maybe they're both fucked. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna be indifferent. Because guess what? Which one of these two jack-offs win? It really ain't going to affect my life that much. No matter what they want me to believe, it really doesn't. The sun's going to rise the next day. I'm going to go to work, take care of my kids. I'm going to make some money. We can think that way because that's kind of reality, but we don't. We buy into a narrative because it makes us feel good. We're joining a team. Whatever that social thing is, I don't understand. But it really comes down to laziness. We just use Google to give us the information. We use search engines. We use Facebook. We use our neighbors. We use social media posts to spoon feed us everything we think we know. We think we're smart. We're not fucking smart. A smart person would use deductive reasoning, gather information and facts, and then make a rational decision and then move on. Don't dwell on it. Move on to the next thing. That's how life kind of was, I think, before social media. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Or the internet age. Or the internet age in general. We're just lazy. That's my
I like that.
rant. I just think we are. We're lazy as fuck. We're just lazy.
I've been saying that for years,
We're
man.
just lazy, man. It's
And what's dangerous for children these days is, like, from my perspective, is I didn't grow up like my kids are growing up at all. My parents were married 54 years, whatever. So this is new ground for me. There's no home base from which I can work from. I have to create a new home base that I don't know. Mm-hmm. And so when they're making decisions on a daily basis, I don't know what they're grabbing from.
right. Got
And
it.
so that's,
Got it.
to your point, of you saying people can't use this reasoning, they all started from a solid foundations from somewhere. For your point, for parents today, we need to make a new foundation of, my house just ran. It was my mom and my dad. I came home. It was, well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Now it changes daily. So now they have to find home base in some other aspect.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
They have to find home base in themselves. Mm-hmm. And their accomplishments.
Yes.
And, stuff like that. And that's been huge. What's been great about the pandemic for me is it happened this year for me, and I had my kids at home. Mm-hmm. So things were happening to them as a family and also as a nation. And so it was really kind of cool to kind of get a new normal going. I hate that word. I hate things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate organic and new normal. All that. But it gets the job done.
Yeah.
But to kind of set it. But people can't operate the way they used to because we're not dealing with how we were raised, better or worse, whatever.
No, we're still lazy.
And
though.
what
We can-
we're definitely
but you know what?
lazy.
There's, just wait. Like, these kids are feeling so much anxiety that we're going to have to eventually deal with. Like, this is scary to them.
I mean, listen, really though, a Challenger blew up. Shit happened when I was little.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I know.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
But kids are
First
so
teacher in
quick
space.
and resilient.
Kids are resilient, though.
Kids are resilient. This is not going to be a deal. It's going to be their life. I grew up going under my desk for raid drills, jumping out of the back of a bus. Like, didn't scar me. It's going to be fine. You got to put it in perspective.
We now practice live shooter,
Yeah.
Now that's something that's horrific to me, and I think
Yeah.
that started happening like
Yes.
10 or 15 years ago with the public schools, and that was something.
They've come and shot guns in our school, and you honestly, when they shoot the gun,
Freddy, we didn't have any of that.
you don't know, you can't tell where
Where it
the
is,
shot's
yeah.
coming from with the hallways
Yeah.
and the echoing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want to go lock the door. I don't want to pull the magnet strip and lock the door. I don't want to go near the door. I want to go hide.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
have
You
to
would
be-
show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would, because you have to protect these little ones. But
Yeah, well, there's so many slippery slopes there. I don't understand why there's a sense right now that we need to belong to something. And I think it comes out of desperation in the laziness. Like, politics is an example, not the entire example, but you have to belong to a side.
I hate that too.
And the crazy thing is, Fred and I have had this discussion oftentimes because I am, and for years I've been practicing indifference, and I've had this conversation with you prior too.
And I think I've seen a show that you've done prior. Like, why do you have to be Republican? Why do you have to be why do you have to be labeled as something?
Well, we label everything. That's a whole discussion too. But we really feel like right now we are wearing our political identity and other kind of groups, but primarily politics, as a badge of honor. Like, there are a good part of society that walks around happy to be red or happy to be
It's
blue
like being
or happy to be
it's
this
like
or
being
happy
a
to be
Tom
that.
Brady fan. I'm a winner. I'm a winner because I love him.
Well, I know maybe
But
that's
listen,
a good example.
I don't think being indifferent. I don't think you're indifferent. You're in a gray area, and that's a choice. You're not.
Everything's
You're
a
not
choice.
indifferent.
Everything. Well, I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent to. Correct me if I'm do this wrong, Fred. You know where I'm going with this. I'm indifferent to the noise, meaning that I know what I'm going to ingest if I look for news. I'm curious online. It's going to be slanted. Everything's editorialized, and I'm indifferent to the noise, meaning that I don't buy into the bullshit. Not that there isn't some elements of truth on both sides. Of course there is, but there's not enough to make me pull either direction based on what I hear. You see what I mean? I'm indifferent to that stuff. I just don't. And quite frankly, I'll go back to it again. I do not feel that these big elections and these big momentous things, at least up until this point in my life, they have not changed my life. Selfishly, they haven't. Yes, there's probably legislation that's happened that I benefited or been hurt from, I guess.
Okay.
But I'm okay.
Okay, I know. You know why you're okay? Because you're a white male. There are movements.
I get it.
There are movements
Shit,
that
we're
are
going there.
There are movements that are moved forward
Yes.
under different administrations that
Yes.
we don't feel because we're all. But
Absolutely. I'm not nullifying any of
of
this
course we
stuff.
don't feel it. Of course we don't feel it.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying I am indifferent. I am indifferent in regards to I do not care about things that I cannot
Can't control.
control.
Me
Agree.
too.
I cannot control.
Agree.
It doesn't mean that I'm indifferent toward kindness. I'm a big kindness guy, but I'm not going to waste my life being upset about things that I cannot control, because there's a lot of really amazing things happening in my life that I can affect in some way.
Hey, it's
so
the little
that's
things
it.
that matter. Yeah.
I think.
And then that's the only difference. I mean, not the only difference, but between other administrations is that stuff gets pushed through. Depends on what you care about.
But it is. Do we, as a society, worry about things that we can't control, or worry about things that, or are we caring about shit too much?
Well, that's the frustration.
Are we
is
caring
if-
about things that don't affect us?
This is where my Chad, he's so political, and apparently he's very political on Facebook, but I'm not on there, so my mom
Okay.
like say so. But like you cannot stress out or like things you can't control. Like you can only do so much.
I used to see this in Yankees fans and Red Sox fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to, because they hated each other. That's the rivalry that I know, because I'm a baseball nut, that those two organizations hate each other. And I saw passion, but in the end, unless you had someone that was really mentally disturbed, it just is a game, and they're all loving
Yeah.
the game. It's baseball, right? I honestly believe, for the most part, before the internet, definitely before social media, but definitely before 1996 and the proliferation of the internet, that's kind of how politics was. Really. I use this town. This is a Democratic town. I was born and raised here. When I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s, honestly, people were generally Democratic, but no one ever talked about it. No one ever cared. Oh, it's election day. They went down and voted. Once in a while,
you didn't hate someone because they were not a Democrat.
Well, once in a while, you would have like
Republican.
someone running for town council. That's the only way I even was experienced it. My father was a Republican, and he was one of the rare Republicans in town. So I had this divided house, but it never was like, there was never a consternation.
I mean,
there wasn't the polarizing division.
But you're missing the point here.
I guess I am.
Because the deal is, I get you, and I hate it how it is now. But there are many positives that came from this. The reason, it's more knowledge. We know more. Do you think, like...
Do we?
I'm talking issues. I'm
Oh,
talking
I
issues.
love technology. I'm not
No,
bashing
I'm not
it.
talking technology.
And we're learning more because we're exposed to more. But we're exposed to editorialized context. We're just or content. We just don't get straight facts. Now, granted, you can make the argument. He disagrees, but there was a slant even with.
Well, he does have the nicest hair.
He does.
Pantene Pro V.
Pantene. Shout out to Pantene.
Oh my God! Don't get me confused. I'll never find my way back. Dan
Wait,
Rad.
I have to pee in the short
I have
future.
to too, but hold on. We'll take a break in a second. I'm just saying, with all those legacy broadcasters and the CBS Evening News, where we only had 3 news networks, generally you were getting the facts. Maybe it was slanted a little liberal, could have been, but overall we took it. We didn't beat each other up over it. We just took it as gospel, and we went forward. Now we
Now
don't
you're,
have
like,
straight
rioting in
news.
the
There's no
streets.
straight news anymore. Everything
There's
has
not.
a editorialized content within it, and we get jaded and pushed toward a team, and like going calves to the trough, whatever it is, whatever you want to use. It's the truth. We just go to the pigs to the
it's
trough.
pigs.
Pigs to the trough. We
Yeah.
just go there.
I mean, excuse me?
willingly, and we don't think. We just grab a team and run with it. I believe this, so that means I must believe all the rest of the shit too.
That's why people get mad at me. It's
crazy.
Because I'm always, I just look and want to know information.
Of course.
And I read both sides
But
of
you're
the
a
information.
human. That's
but
how you should live.
I can sit around and make my own decisions.
Educated.
Decisions, exactly. Again, I worked in the news.
Right.
Remember, I mean, I worked on television for many years on the news. It's
4.
all sensationalized to build ratings. And again, those old Dan Rather, Cronkite, Brokaw, all those cats back in the day gave you the straight facts. Mm-hmm. Now it's... You know what? I told you last night.
They're trying to
There's going to be a
convince you.
snowstorm,
Yeah.
and he's like, there's not going to be a snowstorm. I'm like, dude, I just read it. There's going to be like 3 inches an hour of snow. There's not going to be snow. But
And who was right, Fred?
Exactly. But the point is these cats feed you a line, and last night I was just
We're just lazy, Fred.
that was my exact.
We're sucking up.
I was lazy because it missed us, but I really should have looked at the map and seen where it was at. But they want you to prepare for the worst, and it's not always going to.
They want to scare you.
It's not always going to be the worst. So they try to scare you into believing
their narrative.
And because you know why? Sensationalism sells.
Can you imagine being a weathercaster in like Atlanta? It's going to be 80 again.
San Diego, 72. It's 72.
What a
It's sunny.
job.
They
Partly
don't
sunny.
even get the moment of there's going to be a storm.
Or Hawaii, right?
Exactly.
78.
And here's
San
my
Diego,
with
that's
low
somewhere
humidity.
I could live. I
All right,
love
time
San
out.
Diego.
time out.
Time out.
I have to
Good.
Okay,
Frame
so well,
I should be Fashion Week this week, and I'm all upset.
Oh, it is in New York.
yeah, I mean,
Wait. Okay.
you should be there.
I know.
Oh God, here we go. Can I leave?
No, we don't have to.
No,
Listen,
no,
this
it's
is,
good.
Just,
It's good.
yeah, I mean,
It's really good because
You don't just.
we all learn from really shitty,
I mean, this one especially.
stupidity.
Wait, what?
What?
Especially from me.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're on.
Well,
You're on divorce.
Okay, wait.
You have one
You
divorce.
got shit. You got shit. You got. I don't know about your shit.
I keep my shit private. Nobody's gonna know
Yeah,
about my
he's
shit.
got deals.
I have deals.
deals.
Hey,
Things.
I've learned.
Did you ever do online dating?
Bumble, which I didn't know what that was.
Bumble.
I met one really good friend.
Okay.
He was a pilot.
Don't go so far away from
So
the
wait,
microphone. I
my
can't hear you.
favorite part about Bumble is when you like a guy. Now the thing about Bumble is
I've only done it once.
Apparently, the girls are only allowed to reach
Yes.
out to the guys. The guys can't reach out to the
Yes.
girls. And then when you like a guy, you put him in your beehive.
Oh my God.
See, you know what? I don't even know because I didn't do it long
See
enough.
the things we learn.
I didn't do it long
It's
enough.
crazy. I'm not on there, but
But we're still friends today, and it's like I met a really good friend, and
Yeah.
after
yeah,
then I got
mean,
in the relationship with Chad. He's like, shit, like why didn't I like jump on this more and not be so casual? But yeah,
have you been on social?
I did online dating for a year or two back in
Oh, that's right.
2010. Yeah,
The
yeah.
100
No.
first dates.
No, no, no.
83 first
I could write a
dates.
book. I'm not
83
going to.
first dates.
No.
my therapist once told me I should write a
60
book.
something. Yeah.
60 something first dates.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money, and I got stories. I got stories.
got stories, too.
I
I
got
don't
stories.
think I
And nothing
wanna tell.
seedy, just really bizarre stuff. Like I got just like, I mean, just. That's when I
You know what?
realized, right?
It's hard being single.
Well, that's
I
that,
like it.
It was fun. It's fun for a while, and then
Yeah.
it. Yeah, if you
I mean,
got
it depends
baggage,
on what you
If you
want.
have mental baggage, and I definitely had mental baggage, from a prior marriage, I did.
I mean, we could
did.
tell. I mean, that's why
Well, I did, but
we're all
but-
here to support you.
But the funny thing was, I could instantly be so critical of others who had mental baggage too. You know, you'd meet them like, oh, that person's really hung up on their ex. That person's really got problems. I'm like, you never want to look inward at the time, of course, but you'll call them out in the New York second. But I realized in 2010 and 11 that I realized immediately that this social media thing, which was starting to really take hold, Facebook primarily, this is really going to upset the fucking apple cart. I could see it coming. And I'm saying this is not going to be good for dating because it's already,
well, it's also not good for marriages.
well, just in general.
Yeah, it's another
anything.
avenue to open up yourself privately to other people.
It provides Yes, it provides an ease to communicate, which in many ways in life is wonderful, and in many ways it's just not. And I think, and that goes back to being conditioned by society, that why is it that we're so, especially in 2021, in the past 10 years or so, we're really so fixated on what other people do. Really, I mean,
not me.
I'm not talking your neighbor so much. It's just like in the bigger picture. Like we really love to know about these reality shows and the ins and outs of like.
I hate reality shows.
Well, then you must be in the minority then, because it seems like they really sell. Like we're just so absorbed by that. So something happened in society where we're just so fixated on other people's lives.
Well, I think
We have
it
to
goes
know.
in the same vein of what you were saying about politics. We have to join a team.
Yeah.
So when we're watching reality shows, we're like, oh, I'm like them or them. And
So you
like
find
then
yourself-
I'm going to like watch that show the whole time and emulate them. It's like, it's still like we're like sheep needing some guidance.
Pigs to the trough.
Yes. And now, and what you're saying is you don't subscribe. She gets judged too, because then I'm like, oh,
See,
she
but
doesn't.
here's the thing.
Like she's.
I honestly don't care what someone thinks about me.
I don't either.
I don't. I've taught
We
my
all care
girls
a
that all the
little, though,
time.
don't
I'm like, no, I really don't.
Wait,
I'm like,
really?
you can't care what someone thinks about you. You do you.
It's
I
a
tell
good
them,
way of
you
living.
do you.
It's
Well, as long as I mean, we can't be mean.
Yeah,
or whatever.
right,
but,
right.
Like
Oh,
we know we're
yeah.
good people, and that's why we
Right.
feel that way. Yeah.
You can't, and like, even like when I look at my parents at school, because I had a pre-K and private kindergarten in Moon Township, and those parents were way different than my Beaver
sure.
Falls parents.
Absolutely.
And then I always have to remember, like, okay, I can't judge these parents. They're not like us, but they're parenting the way they best know how, and that's what they know.
And, yeah,
and
that's
you
what
have to
any parent
respect
can do
it.
that, yeah.
Right. So I just don't. I honestly don't care what people think. Like if I were being in the grocery store with my kids when they were smaller, and I'd be like, "Oh," they're like, "Mom, stop!" And I'm like, "Why? Who cares?"
No,
Who
here's the
cares?
deal. I mean, I care about what my friends think of me,
Right. Right.
but
You want to be a
generally, I
good
don't.
person, friend,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Generally,
I don't.
Okay, and I think that there is, along with all this individuality and all this stuff that we're supposedly doing as a society now, you would think that we're more selfish. That would all play into us being individuals and we're doing our own thing and fuck the world, right?
Yep.
Yet, like pigs to the trough, we watch everybody else living their life instead of going out and living our own fucking lives. We talk a good game, and social media presents the
This
illusion.
is like so epic, Eric, because it as a parent of young kids, everyone's like, because I grew up old school. Everyone's like, remember the old days? I'm like, yeah, I do, but you're asking me not to.
Yeah.
You're asking me to go
like,
on my phone every day to get the update.
Little
from
House
school.
on the Prairie was like my favorite show.
Right.
Like I loved
You
simple.
can meld the two,
Yes.
but it's not. We're at a crossroads where it's like, social media and then
And responsibility.
Like you're a bad mom because you did that. Well, fuck. Like, what am I gonna do?
Okay, flesh that out for me. What do you mean?
All right. So, in other words, stay off your phone. Be present.
Yes.
Then stop sending me all the school information over email
Yeah.
because I don't have a computer.
Well,
it's on my phone.
Why?
Then, like, go spend time outside with your kids. I can't because you're telling me not to. Like, it's a
mixed
whole
message.
thing.
Yeah, I can't stand people that their workout wasn't real if you didn't post your
What,
Right.
is it, yeah,
how
is it
far
rea-
you ran on the treadmill.
You didn't eat that great steak
I-
unless you took a picture.
Yeah, I don't need to see. And
You weren't in Miami.
Yeah,
if there's
exactly.
no photos. So again, that's my point. So it seems like there is this push to be individuals, and these certain members of our society want to be influencers, whatever that really means. They think that they
Are we? Isn't that why we're here?
Hey, one of
know.
the funny
we're
things.
going to change the world
well,
today.
podcasting's part of the new
One
media,
of the funny
no
things
doubt.
about influencers is just no shit. I was in Fashion Week a couple years ago. Because
Did you say Fashion Week?
Fashion Week up in New York.
With that hair, how could he not?
And now I'm your new best friend.
and I'm sitting there, and I'm like literally getting our jackets, and I'm talking to this dude, and this woman comes up and goes, she's, oh my god, what did he say to you? I'm like, who? Like, I could give two fucks less about an
Yes.
influencer. And evidently I met and hung out with and talked with a number of like, that woman has 20 million followers on Instagram. Who? That girl that was
right.
We were talking about the drinks.
Exactly right.
Oh my God, who the fuck are these people? I could give two shits less.
Yeah, that's me.
You know what I mean? And the guy, I'll say his name because he was a very, very nice guy. It was Patrick Starr, and he's a makeup influencer guy.
Okay.
And they're like, "Oh my God, you were tired. Do you know him?" I'm like, "Who?" And they said Patrick Starr. I'm like, "What? The guy from SpongeBob?" And they're like, and that's exactly. Those are my exact words. Those are my exact words.
My God,
and I'm like, who the fuck's? I'm waiting in line to get a jacket, and I'm talking to this guy, you know, beside me, and it was just small talk. But they were like, but people like.
I think anyone who watches the Kardashians has a problem.
Oh my God! Anybody?
Next time you go to Fashion Week, you and I are going.
Yes. Yeah, I'm there.
And but the thing is you know, I have no idea who these people are.
No.
But people base their whole lives on reality shows and influencers. And I remember when I got, I'm going to say it, I remember when I got 3,600 followers on an Instagram that I didn't even want. And I'm like, I could care less. I don't know who. I love you.
You don't know these people.
I love you all, but I have no idea, you know. And it's just like, you know, but we were talking about the chip reviews. I did this thing called like a chip review as a joke.
Like potato chips?
Like potato chips from like around the world.
And it was the
and the next thing I know, I've got 3,600 people following me. And like literally, I'd put up a story on these chip reviews, and I'd get like 1,200 people, like a third of them, watching what I'm saying about potato chips.
So what does that tell you about society?
Well,
what does that tell you about society?
That's what my point is.
There's no future for anyone.
I never wanted this. I didn't want the damn Instagram account. I don't want to be on social media.
I want to put this in there. Bison chip dip from Buffalo, New York is the best.
Man, there's
Bison chip dip.
Go ahead, you got to
Go ahead. I know that.
I'll do a review on
people
that.
In the tracks.
Somebody, Johnny Chow, sent me down some bison chips and.
Dude, it's the best. No, bison chip dip.
Bison chip dip.
It's a dip.
Okay. So
I'm telling you, it's going to take off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is that a little local company in Buffalo?
It's a little local company.
But you know what I find?
Little local company.
Okay.
I find that the local foods are the best.
Yes. Dive bars. Yes.
Dive bars.
Listen, Anthony Bourdain went through Buffalo and tore it up.
Man, I love finding those little out of the way. That's why
Buffalo's known for dive bars. Period. Right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it
Did
like,
they brought
also
out a
like,
song?
I've been
Ladies'
to
Night in
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
Isn't-
Ladies' Night in Buffalo.
Isn't like downtown like Buffalo really a shithole?
No, I mean, no.
No, it's not bad.
Hey,
I've been
in
to
this
Buffalo.
corner.
I'm going to take this one.
I was shocked when I went to Buffalo. I was like,
Buffalo, first of all, is like a child.
My
It's very
physical
resilient.
therapist is from Buffalo, so I got to give her a little bit of credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had knee surgery 6 months
Did she
ago.
do a good job?
Yeah, she was great.
That's a Buffalo chick.
Yep.
Okay.
She lives here now.
There's
but
a lot of great
obviously-
restaurants, a lot of great bars, a lot of great offshoots, and a lot of great teams.
Good.
I called up the Anchor Bar one time.
Okay.
So you've been to the Anchor Bar,
Of course.
Yep. So this is the greatest. So I call up with my Pittsburgh accent,
Oh, God help you.
and I said, you know, because Anchor Bars where Buffalo Wings started,
Oh.
or at least they claim that.
Has
Everybody in Buffalo claims that they started Buffalo Wings. But
Chad just texted me to get him
the Anchor
wings.
Bar is the place. So I called up the guy. I said, "Yeah, listen, can I get 15 hot and 15 mild?" He goes, "Yeah, that'd be like about an hour." I'm like, "About an hour for 15 wings, for 30 wings?" I get there. This is no shit. We're on an Ozfest. So
Ozfest.
Yeah. So we get there, and
Why were you only getting 30? First of all.
well, because it was just for me. You know what I mean? It was just for, so I get there and I get these wings, and the guy goes, "That's 106.50," and I'm like, wait, what? For what? 30 wings? He goes, 30. He said, "You want 50 mild and 50 hot?" I'm like, 50? Who the fuck says 50? I said 15.
Oh my
And
gosh.
of course, I bought them all because
Yeah.
So I bought, but I couldn't quit laughing. But that's my Buffalo story. Oh
my God.
It was like
ate 'em all.
yeah.
So,
No, I
wait.
passed them out.
So
I
there's
passed
the
them out on
Anchor
Ozfest.
Bar is absolutely where they were.
Yeah,
kind of,
started.
But,
So is there, like,
Duff's.
a
Duff's is where they say.
Pittsburgh-
I've been there as well.
Okay, so
Yeah, where's the
Anchor Bar
Pittsburgh
is
Heat
where they
spread?
were created
in
and
Buffalo
founded.
too?
And then Duff's is where they were perfected, is what they say.
Oh my God, this sounds like
Duff's.
a Philly story with
Yeah.
like Pats
The
and
cheesesteak.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Pats and
Jeans.
they suck, both of them. I like South Street much better.
And they're right there.
They
So-
both suck.
so-
Like
so-
South Street
so we're-
dive bar is better.
So I was visiting Zach one time out in Philly. So we went to Pat's.
Geno's.
And we went
Pat's sucks.
and we ate like both places, like these giant cheesesteaks,
Yeah.
and it was just like, all right. So
No, I don't know why they're famous.
Exactly.
Oh, they're horrible.
Really?
But it's
Isn't
like
one
Yes.
with Cheese Whiz and one with.
One with Cheese Whiz.
No. It's,
Yeah, they're
it's
across the
not-
street.
It's wit.
Oh, okay.
Whiz.
You get
It's
it.
just
Whiz.
Whiz. It's
Oh,
Whiz.
Whiz. Got it.
That's
All right.
with wit. But you have to really seriously go to
so
South
great.
Street. I don't even know a name of place. You get
I
great
couldn't
pizza.
even
Like
eat
that's
that.
the problem. Like when I moved here, like there was no really good pizza because I'm from north of Philly. But those cheesesteaks.
Wait, I'm sorry. Where is there good pizza north of Philly?
Well, you can get really good pizza in Philly, but when you
Oh.
come to Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
there's really the only good
Pittsburgh.
pizza is like Fiore's. I think in
Fiore's is
Beaumont.
you got to go down south to Bell Vernon to go to Jake's. Jake's is like the best. So,
I was at the winery at Bell Vernon this
There's a-
past summer.
down in Bell Vernon.
Yes.
Bell Vernon's like a little happening, little hip little
Yeah,
town.
there was a band. Everything was happening.
At
was
Jake's.
great.
You mean at the old sporting good?
People
Remember
come
that?
out.
No, it's a
No,
whole.
Jake's is a pizza shop. There's a Jake's in Bell Vernon, and there's a Jake's in Rostraver. Rostraver. And I'm partial to the one in Rostraver, but I'll tell you what,
Do you
man,
know-
it's great pizza.
You know, that
because
same day I went to a biker bar in Finleyville.
down in Finley, but which one'd you go to? In
I don't
Finleyville?
know.
I know
Name
where
it.
it's at.
Name
it's
it.
I don't
It's
know the name.
outside.
It's outside, and it's right off of 88.
Yes.
And it's a little white building. It's got a great big porch. I've been to that biker bar, and it's awesome.
I know, it was killer.
Do you know what people think is good food here? Is like hot dog shop.
I know.
The
I've
center
never
of the
been.
plate
I
is
kinda
a
wanna
hot
Go
go.
down to Bert's Hot Dog Shop up at the Washington Mall. Shorties.
Although
Oh, my
Southside
God.
does have some good
Well,
restaurants.
it's interesting. We're in Pittsburgh, so I'm a lifer. You're a lifer. She's not. She's
I am
Buffalo, and you're
not.
from North Philadelphia.
Yeah,
So the
no.
perceptions.
Now I
interesting.
understand. Now I understand these two.
Yeah.
No, listen, I'm from Western New York, and Western New York is a lot like Pittsburgh. It really is.
In what way?
And we're good people. We're
Yeah.
not we're down to earth. We're, hardworking, really.
Yeah.
So, folks in New York State, outside of New York City, I have found to be nothing like New Yorkers.
No,
like
not
New
at
Yorkers to
all.
me are from the city. But you go to Rochester,
Hey,
and Buffalo,
I used to
and
be
Albany,
a New Yorker. I
Albany.
lived in Staten
Yeah, but you
Island.
weren't from
Yeah, I
there.
just
No,
don't.
well, I was from Eastern PA,
Right.
which is like
Yeah.
my father commuted from Pennsylvania.
So you
to New
spent
York
time
every
in
day.
Philadelphia a lot when you grow up.
Philly and New
So
York.
what the fuck is wrong with Philadelphia people? Like why
You know
are
what?
they
You're-
so
you're-
rude? They're so
No, Boston
mean.
people are rude.
Don't be,
Philly's-
don't be pushing
Boston.
up on
Look, okay.
Boston. Philadelphia has the worst sports fans
Philly,
in
you
the
are
world.
either
Is
rich.
it Rittenhouse Square?
Yes,
Is it-
Rittenhouse Square.
Rittenhouse
I
Square
know
is a
someone from
really great
Rittenhouse Square.
restaurant.
Yes, very good.
What is wrong with
Lubeck
Philadelphia?
Finn.
Yes, yes. I love it there.
Freddie, you traveled the world. Like it's Philadelphia.
I don't even want to get into my Philadelphia stories
You're
because they're bad.
you're either
Every
rich.
one of them's bad.
You're either rich or poor
Yeah.
in Philly, and
Well,
It's like
I
that
don't
here,
know
too.
about their demographics.
But you know what I love?
But their sports fans are ridiculous.
yeah, but okay. Even my family from Eastern PA still love the Steelers.
They will boo Santa Claus
I
if-
personally
Yeah,
am
they
a
will.
soccer fan.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
Manchester United, but
I get it.
Like football.
yeah, real football.
Football.
Yeah.
Philadelphia's just
I can't think of anything more boring to watch.
Oh, I love it.
soccer.
You know
And
what?
I watch golf.
I love golf too. I golf. I love what. It took me a
my
while to love to
God.
learn to watch
Yeah.
golf, but I do
I mean, I
love
can
it.
admire the aesthetics of the sport of soccer, but
Soccer just
Wait, pardon me.
the men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the sport.
Oh God, no.
Okay. I just
No.
want to clarify
My kids
that.
play
Oh my God, that's all
soccer.
around our
Don't gloss right over top of that.
Yeah. I love the science of football. I love football.
Yeah,
American
see,
football.
I think
The science of football.
I like the
Football to
plays.
The
I like
science
the
of
plays.
football.
I like everything.
football to me is like bowling. You knock down, you pick up. You knock back down, you pick back up. I'm like, I just,
Or you
Like
don't
duck
knock
pin,
down,
like
and
duck
then you don't pick
I
up.
just,
Duck pins.
I don't know. I've tried. And know it's Super Bowl Sunday, but, I'm just.
but like soccer in general is like this amazingly popular
It's-
sport.
I know, but
why
think
does it
about-
not resonate in this country?
It's an hour and a half of sitting there going,
I don't know. Like, it's like a lot of really good foot skills too, and I don't know.
but we don't have
Maybe
an
'cause
it's
I
too much
appreciation
running
of it.
for me. I don't know.
But
Yeah.
just generally,
I just
we
say
don't
I
have
understand
You
the
know what I
game,
think we
maybe.
should all be talking about? Curling.
Yeah.
Curling's
I got
too
a family, I
cold.
got a family that does that up in Calgary. And I went to that as a kid.
And
I
I'm
s-
basically Canadian, so I do
well,
appreciate it. But
yeah, but of course.
Do you ski?
no, and that's a fun fact
Because I'm
because
like thinking New York, like I've Holiday Valleys.
I
Where
grew up on north of Niagara Falls, USA.
right.
I'm literally the last
North of Niagara Falls. How fucking much further can you get? It's a bridge.
It's-
a bridge, and then there's fucking Canada.
There's a Peace Bridge, there's a Rainbow Bridge,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then there's the Lewiston Queenston Bridge.
Yeah.
I grew up in Lewiston,
Yep.
so I'm 9 miles up the Niagara River, past when the falls fall.
Yep. I got
Okay,
you.
yeah, so that's where I grew up.
Yeah, but
Oh, very
how
cool.
close to the border are you?
I could see Canada
You
from my
got-
bedroom window.
I can see Canada
Nice.
from my house.
No, I'm serious. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
My
it's
bus
literally
route-
right there.
My bus route was Niagara or Lower River Road.
Yeah.
The river in Canada.
Nice.
It was beautiful.
She had to show her passport to get into Canada.
I love
though.
it up there. I do. I love
Yeah.
like I
But
love
I was
Holiday
never-
Valley up there.
Never
I just
a skier.
love it.
Again, I'm youngest of 7. My parents didn't want to.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's
We were-
amazing. No skiing.
Yeah, no skiing. So when I kept getting pregnant in January and February, my OBGYNs kept saying, "Why don't you take up like a winter sport?" A little too late.
Or you can take up
I
that
did.
winter
My
sport.
cardio is a little bit something
I
different.
did take a
I
winter
did. It's called a
sport.
blanket and a fireplace.
I tore my ACL and my meniscus last February.
Yeah, so I
Skiing.
don't do any winter. I
But I want to
I'll go
ski so
sledding,
bad right now.
whatever.
Yeah.
No.
With this
No.
weather.
Skiing. I was raised that skiing was a rich person's sport.
It's
we were told.
expensive.
It is expensive.
Same thing with golf. You know, golf
I
was a
love
rich
golf,
person's.
too.
Hockey.
I used to golf
See,
3
but
times
I
a week.
like
Person's
golf.
sport,
I'll take my kids
hockey.
Yeah,
golfing.
golfing.
I like
taught
golfing.
my middle one, and I went to golf
I like golf and
lessons with him,
tennis.
yeah. Tennis.
What's this paddle thing?
Dude, shit.
What's
I'm
paddle?
telling you
What is
what.
paddle?
That's
Wait a
called
minute.
ping
I don't
pong.
know. What's paddle?
No, it is no joke.
What's paddle?
Okay, listen. It's a smaller court.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
like
different
tennis.
racket.
Okay.
Yes.
Like racquetball, but outside?
It's called kind of platform tennis.
Okay.
And so it's outside. It's a smaller court. It's caged.
You are so swickly because
I know. Stop it.
They only have that in Swickley.
I am not.
It hasn't gotten to
They-
the rest of
they-
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Fox Chapel.
They
Oh, yeah. Swickley and Fox Chapel.
All right.
You ain't
Well,
gonna
no,
see it.
because when
Hey,
I
we're gonna have a paddleball court down there on the south side, down there behind Dawnsy's and Blue Lou's and Mario's bar.
Wait, is Blue Lou's even open? No.
don't
That's been
know.
years. Chauncey's and all that shit. When I worked at Quaker Valley, I worked with a girl.
Who played paddle.
She had Noonan syndrome, and like she and I would play tennis, and
Yeah.
it was like so fun. I'm like, I get paid to play tennis with you.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
great. Anyway. It's
That makes
a
you a
lot.
professional tennis player.
Yeah,
'Cause you got
no,
paid.
I suck.
Listen. I mean, you.
Paddle.
Yeah.
Paddle.
I
I'm
would
just
So
a
what is
bit-
paddle? Tell me about paddle.
it's-
What I want to know the ins and the
Slap
outs
your ass.
of
That'll
paddle.
be
No, you
paddle.
don't. You don't want to know.
No,
what
actually
you
I
want
do
to know
because
is the
I've never heard of
nuance.
it, which is amazing. I've never heard of it.
It's a smaller court than tennis.
Yeah, I've never heard
Okay.
of it either. It's like
cage.
pickleball.
Okay.
And
Pickleball.
In a cage.
you can only play with doubles.
Okay.
And
It's not racquetball.
No.
Okay.
It's like badminton.
No. Jesus.
Okay. Let's let her talk.
What's pickleball?
I don't know because I don't play it.
I want to hear I want to hear about paddle
but
because I actually am because I've never heard of it.
You're getting
It
aroused.
is a smaller court.
Okay.
It is.
Is there a net involved?
There's a net.
Okay.
It's lower. It was smaller. Tennis players have a really hard time playing paddle because they want to pound it. And
Okay.
You can't. It's all about placement.
Okay.
It's kind of like
in a line.
It's kind of like indoor racket in a way where you want to place
Okay.
it, But you are outside. It's and you can play off the cage.
The wall,
whatever they
yeah.
call
The
it.
walls, yeah.
And
Like
what's a
racquetball.
cage? And
Racquetball.
kinda.
Without a racket.
Oh, you
Or a
have to
paddle.
have
A racket.
something. You have to have a racket.
It's like a paddle.
Is
Okay,
it like
listen.
a...
Well, no. Is
Is
it a
is
solid
it
paddle
a-
or is it like a net paddle, like a tennis racket?
It's got holes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's smaller and thicker.
Okay.
Like
and
a-
gritty.
Kind of like when you got your ass beat in school, you got a paddle with the holes in it.
Right.
So, all
But
right.
it's got grit to it.
Okay.
It's got like if you
Like a
went
sandpaper
like this,
texture.
Yes.
So how do you
Okay.
score?
Yes. By getting it in the same way you would in tennis.
in
Okay.
a line. And like on the line.
On the lines, but you have to serve in serving's different and then
Paddleboard.
whatever. This is so boring.
Is that like a combination
just-
of no? It is a combination
never heard of-
of
I've
like
never heard of it.
racquetball, badminton, and cricket.
Cricket's
I've never
totally
played
different.
any of those.
Cricket's totally different. You've got like a bat, right? And a ball and a bat, like, and you're running. I don't think cricket.
Eric,
They wear
anything
goalie
has come
pads when
out
they run
and
the
play.
first base. They play cricket. That's all I know.
Let's just say soccer's good and move on.
Eric, I'll get a court and the Y. We'll go play.
Paddle. Okay, what's paddle?
We need to do a live podcast from
paddle
a paddle
court.
court. Yeah.
Oh, amen.
But we should go up to Fox Chapel because I heard they have the nicest.
Listen, easy. I played the YMCA. All right, I'm not.
Well,
like,
so-
Do you go to? I used to go. I
my
took my
God.
kids to the Swickley YMCA
Yes.
Oh,
when
so
they
the
were
Swickley
little.
Y is cool.
Do you know
There's
what
a
the fun-
YMCA in Swickley?
Wait, I got a story.
And it's very
Wait.
laid back.
Wait,
I must
I got
say.
a
It's got
story.
a gold swimming pool.
No, listen.
I got a bad story about the sauna there with the old men.
Wait, no, listen. The first time I took my kids when they were little, we would go to Friday night swim, and then we go to like Friday night gym because they were small.
And then we went to Fridays.
No, wait. When we
and
went,
it rhymed.
when we went
Don't get
to
her
check
confused.
when we went to check it out, all of a sudden this guy comes running through this one gym. Here he was like a peeping Tom in the ladies' locker room.
No.
the
And
Y?
that was our first experience at the Swickley Y.
I believe
best-
that to be true.
Listen, you just so there is a thing when you go into the Y in Swickley.
Yeah.
There's a TV that literally, my hand to God, has a monitor on the old man sauna.
I knew it. I knew it.
No, it's a hot tub, and there's this gelatinous man and this thing,
Gelatinous.
and everyone can see it, and I'm like, why? They're like, in case he goes under. I'm like, why can't they be? Can we have this
case
in a
he
different?
goes under.
In case, I mean, can we have it
you
in
know-
a, like separate rooms?
The most entertaining thing, because my health insurance, I can join 10,000 gyms. It's all free. Okay, so
It's a hell of an
How's that
insurance.
going for you?
it's called fitness.
Obamacare.
No, it's not that. It's Fitness Your Way. So I can go to all these different gyms.
Fitness your 10,000 ways.
Yeah. So I'm going to the Y at.
Because they have the
Right.
most luxurious workout
Exactly. You
facilities.
chose the best out of the 10,000 options.
Out of 10,000.
The funniest thing is sitting in the sauna with these guys, these older guys.
Okay,
We're
wait.
all
Oh, it's
sitting there.
co-ed. The sauna's co-ed?
Yeah.
we
No,
back up?
not at that place, but she just
in the
walked
Y.
in.
Can we back up into how you got into the sauna with 10,000 men?
No. There's only like 6, but
Okay. I know we always exaggerate, don't we?
It's
She
so-
was that big.
It's the gender.
it's like listening to the guy converse. Like you have earbuds in, then you turn them off, and you're just listening. You're just like dying because their conversation is so funny.
Like, what do they say?
Oh, God.
Why is there a girl in the men's sauna?
Yeah, it's like it made my. I
Is
think
anyone
I go
else
on
feeling
Wednesdays.
I got a tingling
did-
sensation.
Well, they did, but the chemicals took
Why
it
do
down.
we go to the gym? We went like you know,
Oh, man.
I went to the gym to meet somebody, and I would go to.
Man, if it's Swickley
the
Y.
men's saunas.
The
That's
Dude.
right. If I wanted to go meet somebody at a gym, I'd go to the female saunas. Just sit down,
it's all-
take my towel
Go
off.
ahead. Just go ahead.
Swickley Y scarred me for life, man. I swear to God.
When the guy, I could have put my foot out and tripped him. He was this guy running from the ladies' locker room because he was
Oh, I
peeping.
believe that, but I'm telling you point
like,
blank,
what's
this
going
guy.
on?
I remember like mid '90s. I'm like, I'm gonna get up every morning, and go there and swim, and then leave. Just
Yeah.
20 minutes swim.
So
leave.
mid 90s, you were about
30.
12, no.
I was 30. I remember I was 30 years old. I'm thinking to myself, okay, this
Was
will
I
be
30
good. I'll
in the
go to
90s?
work. Wow. But I can go swim every day. So
That's when the
I
Bills
lasted
lost the
one
fourth Super Bowl.
fucking day because
Yeah, why?
I walked into the. I go in there to change.
Did you wear
and
a
there
Speedo?
is this, no, I didn't wear a Speedo. But there were
He was wearing nothing.
there were these old men.
That sounds better.
There's these
Sleeping.
old
Yeah.
men, and I had never experienced
Oh,
a
God.
men's locker room probably since I was
In Swickley.
and they're all having conversations in various stage of disrobing and walking around
yeah.
and dripping. Some are dripping wet from this pool, and it's like they're carrying their towels. I'm like, can you put the towel around yourself?
It's chilly out there today.
I know you go into the sauna.
Oh my
and
gosh.
they want to have
I'm-
conversations. They want to
Yeah.
talk like they meet you in front of a restaurant. And how are you? My name is so and so. And he's reaching out to shake my fucking.
No.
He's bone fucking naked. The guy looks
Wait.
like the crypt keeper. I'm like, there's no. This is. I'm going to myself. This is not happening. This will scar me for the. I cannot come back here again. I
You-
ran out of there so fucking fast.
You were
So
reminding
you were the
me.
guy in the
Gone
ladies that
That
she
was
almost
me
tripped.
running
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're reminding me my middle daughter Riley played volleyball on this, I don't know what kind of
Volleyball
travel
team.
teams. Yeah. And I remember sitting there watching this one old man sit there and he's wearing these little shorts and you see his. And I'm like,
Wait,
oh
the,
my
man, wait,
God.
the old man's wearing. Oh, you mean his shorts, his gym shorts?
Yeah, and you're seeing
Yeah.
everything.
Why
They
are
You're
don't
you
like,
looking at the old
What
man's
in the
gym
fuck?
shorts?
How can you not, Fred? I mean, there's just. Yeah, that whole Swickley YMCA.
it's crazy.
Listen,
Early morning
I'm
swim.
gonna
Are you
stand
Early
still
morning
a member?
swim was
Do you
bad.
still go there?
It's fun
You
to
still
go to
there?
the Swickley.
I'm going to
Wow.
stand up for my people, okay?
It wasn't Swickley people. It was just that
course it is.
YMCA. No, I'm sure wrinkly old men congregate in many places besides
Wrinkly
the
old
Swickley
men
Y.
live in Swickley.
But they were just so okay with just. It was like
Well,
they were.
Letting it hang out.
No,
Go to Europe.
No, wait.
If you want to be scarred for life, go to a sauna in Europe at the hotel sauna, and you're like, it's the same thing. It's
I
like
had
it
a
everywhere.
gift for entering to go to my workout when the swim session for older ladies let out. And
Ooh, I can't-
that was the same as what you're describing.
Oh, gosh.
But they feel safe and it's fine. But then I love these ladies because they're the same ladies that say someone's too risque, a
That
singer.
one
I'm
piece is too risque.
I'm watching your ass cheek spread on this thing, and
You know what? I'm feeling really bad
and you're
right
telling
now.
me, and you're telling me that this 18-year-old that has a reason to be not dressed is too risque.
I just sent my daughter the new swim schedule for the Y in New Brighton for her 6 months. When he's 6 months, I'm like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Stay away.
I just do that whole open nudity thing, like the nude beaches in France. I don't want to go to a nude beach, man. Why would you want to do that?
Eric,
I
really?
know,
do
I
that?
heard
I want to back this up because
I
he's
could
full
do
of
that.
shit.
Why?
Yeah.
He
I don't
is full
I
of
do
shit.
not want to go to a nude beach.
Really?
Why?
Oh no.
Okay,
Okay,
so
do you sleep with pajamas on?
you look amazing.
isn't that-
and
It's
Yeah,
not
you're
in
you're
like,
pajamas.
oh,
It's a one-piece nightgown.
No. Listen, man.
I love the nightgown.
I sleep naked. It's the best thing ever.
Okay, so
I'm afraid
all right,
if we
I'll-
ever
I'll-
have a fire.
So I'll share
but-
this story. I'll share this story.
I stopped sleeping naked after the 4 kids.
I guess I'll share this story. So
Well, I guess you will because you can edit
I
it
was
out.
17. And the reason why this is so bad was I simply.
What,
Oh my God.
This is not.
Well, I've got the.
Easy over there.
Well,
It's not going to end well. It's not
Oh,
going
I messed up.
Well, we won't be getting into that. There's some vodka around here somewhere.
Not anymore. It's go ahead.
Okay. So I'm dating this girl. I'm a kid, 17. And I'm in a very modern house. I'm downstairs and I'm waiting for her, I'm watching TV. And I look up and it was an open floor concept. So I could see the stairwell and then the landing of the bedrooms. And out of the
God.
bathroom comes her mother, I guess, walking to her bedroom.
Naked?
It's her house. Bones stinking naked as the day she was
well,
born.
some people like to try out the shower in a new
I'm
house.
17. I'm 17. So I don't need to be seeing middle-aged women's body proportions that are
You
just
just
not
didn't
real
know what you were
attractive.
missing.
And I think there was a mental scar because here I am repeating this exactly right now the way it was. And at that moment, it was just like, oh my God. I didn't last with her much longer than that. I don't think she knew I was in the house. I think that I was just, because it's a.
Of course she knew you were in the house.
But it was just like, wow. And I just don't think that's
yours.
where I want to be.
Yeah, because I got mine.
No.
Okay, we gotta. This is.
All right, we okay over there?
Yeah, we just
Cheers.
figured out the bottle thing and kind of broke it.
We fucked the cork up.
Okay. All right. So yeah,
I didn't.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know what? I just want to quit my job and go sell turquoise jewelry in California. I say that all the time.
Okay.
All right.
I do. See, I
Actually,
got, my
Albuquerque,
Buffalo-
New Mexico would probably be the better place for turquoise.
Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
I could live in Sedona.
Do you color your hair?
No, it's natural.
Is it?
It is natural.
Full of shit.
No, I don't color my hair. You know what? I don't have a gray hair on my head, on my hair, on my
your
head,
chin.
but
Or your-
my beard. And here's the thing.
I love facial hair.
And when we talked about, remember last week I had a full beard, and so I go in and trim my beard the other day. And I went, meh. I'm like, oh fuck! I got it too close. And I turned it on, and I went, meh, just shaved everything off. So then I had to shave everything off.
Oh my God.
So the last show I had a beard. So
Do you get haircut anxiety?
I don't get haircuts.
Okay.
People try to give me
Oh,
haircuts.
do you know what? I don't. I'm actually getting my hair done next week.
Don't
but
do it.
like no, like I'll have people like my boyfriend or my other
That was
teacher
the
at
best.
school. I'm like,
That
just
was
cut
the
my hair
best.
because I don't like to do it either.
No, I don't.
I've had too many bad haircuts.
I think the last time I had my hair cut was in Jacksonville,
That was
in
a stupid
Florida.
question.
Jacksonville, Florida, because I was drunk.
I almost moved there
And
once.
I think it was like 2005, 2006. And
Oh my God, he's got nicer hair than us.
and,
What the hell?
and I don't brush it. You guys saw
No, I saw you brush
the
it.
only
We
time
saw
I,
you
the only
brush
time I
it.
brush is for the show. But I don't.
Aren't you lucky, Eric?
Dude,
I go.
Tia, you just did the best thing
What?
when you said you get haircut anxiety.
Yeah. Because that's me.
I won't get a haircut.
Clearly hasn't had a
Yeah.
haircut in 10 years.
Longer than that, 2005.
But how
So-
many people have locks like that? Like locks of
He has
love
different
is like,
hormones
come
in his
on,
body.
come on. But no.
Yeah, it ain't
we
gonna happen.
want you. We want you, but no, you can't.
it ain't
You
gonna happen. You know
can't.
what? No. I have literally. I cut it off one time, like, and it was only like this long, and I got a corporate cut because I had a corporate job, and
Wait,
it's
what do you mean by corporate job?
like I was directing television commercials for a corporation, and.
You're on the other side of the camera.
Well, yeah, so I was on the other side of the camera, and they made me get a corporate cut, and this is no shit. I got it
should
done.
not
On,
make
I got
you.
it done on Thursday.
In the early 90s.
In
That was
the early
corporate-
90s.
Yeah, corporate cut in the early 90s was just that.
I got it done on a Thursday, and I didn't look in a mirror until Monday when I went to work that Monday, and I didn't know what I looked like for it. And I just knew it was short. I didn't care, and it was only this long. Imagine if I'm crying now because I'm getting old, and I'm like ripping out more than I'm because I don't
Wait,
brush
you
it.
said you're what?
You ask a gentleman his age. I'll start asking
You didn't
guys.
ask. I told you how old I was.
But yeah, I'm 51, and
51 and fabulous.
51 and
What
fabulous.
about those guys like you that reach middle age that have long hair like Fred, that then they start losing their hair in the center?
And they try to hang on like God's
but they
green
keep,
earth.
they keep the side going.
Are we talking about Trump here?
Yeah.
Could be.
Hey, you
I've never
mentioned-
seen his head. I don't know.
You mentioned a commercial recently you're involved in. What is that?
Coming up, I'm on the other side of the camera for that.
Oh,
one.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the last commercial I did. I did this commercial for New York. I did your prop, whatever, prop 81, prop 9, prop something or other.
Thug number one.
Thug number one. But that was like I think that was like the last TV commercial I did, and it was
For a
and of
pandemic.
all things, it was for New York. It was for New York State to vote on something.
Didn't you show up at a commercial set one time with your suit and all pressed and all that? And you get there and they find out they were going to mark you as a homeless guy or something.
Wait.
All kinds of shit.
They thought Fred just showed up as he was, and they thought he was perfect right there. They're like, "Oh, you're good."
That was
you
that was
showed
the-
up in costume.
that was like the New York prop thing. The whatever.
When's this comic book happening?
Oh, you're never allowed to talk about that. It's actually I can probably talk about the book. It's actually in the works now, and so who knows? Whenever I get motivated enough to write part two,
I want to hear about the homeless story, though.
Oh, the homeless story. You know, for the homeless thing is I just went into my normal clothes and they're like, "Oh, you're fine," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" Because here's the thing: they had it was they wanted me in a business suit. You always take like multiple looks for, and so for this New York thing, they had businessmen. They had hippies, they had freaks, and like they had people dressed like the Statue of Liberty because it's New York.
Yeah,
and all this shit. And I just show up, and the woman's like, "You're perfect," and I'm like, "Wait," and this is all I ever wear anyway. And people always get because I always come on the show, and people are like, "You wear the same thing all the time." It's like, no, I have 6 black shirts, 6 black pairs of jeans, six, and I have multiples of the same thing, but there's like always like little variations. But yeah, for the prop whatever it was, New York State vote. I just showed up. They're like, "Yeah, we want you to be a normal guy." I'm like, "No, I really want to be a freak," And they're like, "No, you're pretty much a normal guy." So I went in as normal, man. I think what you're thinking about is the time I did the road.
You really don't belong here.
I think the time that you're talking about was when I did the road, and I had all that ripped up clothing on and shit like that. And it was just like the worst. I had to go and get fitted, and they hand me like a dirty red sweatshirt with like grease on it and ripped up shoes, and it was just like. Yeah, this
sucks.
Can
you imagine a fitting with this guy? Like, let's fit you.
Oh no, they did.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had. So I was working at Channel 4.
Yeah.
And I had my good buddy Anne Marie was working with, and Anne Marie, she always knew how to rook me out of money. It's just like hey, I just need somebody to cover my shift for like an hour. Could you take the whole day? Just no, I can't do that day. I'm like, well, I just need somebody. How long do you need? An hour. Yeah, give me $50. $50 to cover my shit for an hour. I just got to go get a wardrobe fitting for this movie that
That's
I'm
awesome.
doing. And she's like,
smart.
Nah, $50. And I'm like, well, and I get to write in. I took your day for the time card. I'm like, wait, what? She says, how bad do you want this part? And I'm like, wait a second. That's wrong. That's
you got played.
But yeah, so I had a fitting for this movie, and I went down there, and literally, I am 6'2". 190, 200 pounds.
Still?
Yeah, still.
At about another 30.
So literally, I go in and for this movie part. Now they're looking for emaciated.
Oh,
people.
Eric.
So they're looking for they're looking for keto diet, paleo diet kind of things. Yeah. And so I go walking in, and again, I'm 6'2", $190, $195 when I went and auditioned, and I walk in. And they said, "Oh my God, he's kind of fat." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And so you were asking about the fitting.
Yeah.
And so I've already paid somebody $50 plus my pay for the day to come down and do this fitting. Now I've got these wardrobe people insulting me. And she's like, "What can we do?" She goes, "We could put him in a hooded sweatshirt to cover his fat face." And
Which
I'm like,
you already had.
Well, they're in front of me talking about this, so like we can cover up his fat face. And I shit you not, I'm like, "Well, wait, what?" And they're like, "Okay, so it's supposed to be like we're going to shoot this in like a February or a March, and it's going to be cold or whatever." And so they're giving me I get my outer look. And I've got a ripped
and he's
up,
got his Pantene,
ripped up sweatshirt, and a pair of ripped up jeans, old jeans, and they give me some shoes with no laces that are all ripped up. They're like, "This is perfect." I'm like, "This is perfect." Okay, great. And then they give me like 8 layers of like Under Armour and all this stuff to keep me warm because it's supposed to be cold. We're shooting in the wintertime and it's an outside scene. So I'm like, "Great, this is fantastic." And they're like, "We really got to cover up that face though." And I'm like, and the reason they picked me. It's because I had long hair. And then we get there and they go, "This guy's supposed to be military, right?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Yeah, you're like military. We're gonna have to cover up his hair." So they give me a hooded
what?
A hooded sweatshirt and a hat to cover up my hair.
So your best selling point is now covered. And I'm freaking out. And so now I'm ripped up like this because it's a post-apocalyptic movie. So I'm all dressed up in like rags. And so I get to the filming that day. And again, my agent says to me, she goes, "How much do you weigh?" And I'm like, it keeps getting better.
I'm like $1.95. She's like, can you lose 15 pounds by
Monday?
Yeah, well, it was like, can you lose 15 pounds in 30 days? And I'm like, yeah, I can lose 15 pounds in 30 days. They move the schedule up because they realize that there's going to be buds on the trees if they wait another month, and so it's going to be green and it's supposed to be all stark and scary, so they want to move it up. So this is my thing. I'm a method actor. So I had a red Boogie Street sweatshirt, and I wore this red because the sweatshirt in the movie was red. So I wore my red Boogie Street sweatshirt, and I would go to Zumba classes.
We're gonna pretend we didn't hear that.
And I was taking prenatals to grow my. Listen to this.
Time out.
They go to me. They said, "Do you have a beard?" 20 minutes before my agent called me, I shaved my face. I had a full beard, and I shaved my face off. And she calls me up. She goes, "Hey, by any chance, do you have any facial hair?"
God.
And I'm like, "Facial hair? What do you mean?"
Prenatal vitamins.
And she goes, "Well, we need a beard." And I'm like, "Wait, you need a beard?" And she's like, "Yeah, because it's supposed to be."
that?
And I'm like, "All right, I can grow." She goes, "How fast can you grow your beard back?" I'm like, "Oh, I can grow my beard back fast." So I started taking prenatals.
Oh my God.
So I'm trying to lose 15 pounds, and I'm taking prenatals to grow my beard back, and so it's
What is that?
prenatals.
For when you're pregnant.
For when you're pregnant.
What is that? Vitamins?
yeah,
Yes,
potent vitamins.
very, very potent vitamins. Made me sick. The
iron probably made you sick.
It was the iron, yeah.
And that will grow your hair back.
But it grows your hair and your nails and stuff like that. So I got my
That's
beard
why
back.
pregnant women glow.
So I got my glow. I look fantastic.
Did they extract that from like used placentas or something?
Well, yeah,
Where are they getting
they torture babies, and that's where I get my.
Of course, you're one of those evil heavy metal people.
I was QAnon,
Do you still take them? I feel like you still might take them.
What gave it away?
I mean,
That lovely hair.
So literally, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to lose weight. They move up the shooting schedule. And like to lose weight, I'm in a Zumba class with this thing on. Like, and there's old ladies going, and I'm in the back and I'm grunting, And people are like, "Please don't stand near me because you're." But and what I did was
you should have went to the Swickley Y.
Yeah, well, I was
That's where he was.
That's where I was at.
You would have followed it home.
And so the thing was is I started losing. I lost 17 pounds in 15 days.
Nice.
And they moved up.
That's healthy.
They moved up the schedule. Yeah, it sucks. Just like wrestling, but they moved the schedule up, and I had to shoot. And I go in there, and this is after losing 17 pounds in 15 days. I walk in there, and I sit down in a chair, and I'm the first one in, and the woman goes, "Oh my God, what are we going to do with this fat one?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Again.
I'm like, "Wait, what?"
So judgmental.
I lost 17 pounds, and she's like, she's like looking at me. This is no shit. Viggo Mortensen was the star of this movie, and he comes walking in, and he goes, "Ooh, wow, that's a big one." And I'm like, wait, what? So I'm like all depressed. But I had to. That's the homeless thing where I had to run and I had to run my.
Oh, Fred's gone into bars where women have come up to him and said, "You really don't belong here."
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh my God! I had some woman in Ireland. This is no shit.
Oh my gosh.
This is one of the old podcasts. She says, "Excuse me." And I'm waiting to go see. I'm waiting for my boss to come to this bar. We were at Temple Bar in Ireland, and there was this American blues player who was really good, and he was playing at night, and we were like guests, So we're just waiting for the.
Wait, where were you there?
What's that?
Where were you? Again?
I was in Dublin, Ireland.
Okay.
And this woman comes up to me, and she's like, "Excuse me." I'm like,
That's not how she sounded.
"No,
That's exactly how she sounded.
yeah." That's what she sounded like. And she's like, can I tell you something? And I'm like, "Yeah, what is it?" She goes, "You are the most hideous man I've ever seen in all my life."
No.
And yeah, she did. And she goes, "You need to do something with this." And I'm like, wait. She's like, this.
Wait, was she attractive or? She
Oh
was
my
hideous
God, no!
as
She was a
well?
beast. She was a
Like,
she was
fuck
a
you.
beast. And I'm like, wait, what? She's like, man, show some respect for yourself. Get a haircut. She
no.
goes, shave your face. She said, oh my God, you've got a wedding ring on. She goes, how does your wife stand to look at you, man?
Stop.
She goes, oh, dead serious. And she was like, she was a rather large woman, and she's drunk and she's leaning on me and crushing me into this pole that's at this. All I'm there is to see this guy play guitar, and I'm waiting for my boss to come, and I'm getting. And the bartender thinks it's one of the funniest things he's ever seen, and she's like this far away from me. She's like, you are hideous, hideous. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, shit. But so he's heard the story 1,000 times.
You don't belong here.
But she's like, you don't belong here. How does your wife stand to look at you, you hideous man? And I'm going, thank you, because I've got some like wildebeest, like torturing me over this. So it's just like one of those things. But yeah, the homeless thing was for a different.
I didn't know
different movie.
So that was the Viggo Mortensen thing was.
That's The Road. That's a Cormac McCarthy book. They made a book.
Yeah, but you played like what would they call it? A rough character one or whatever. What was
Rough character number one.
I was Militia Man 7 or something like that.
Oh my!
And what was great about it, and here's what's great about it is there was very few people in this movie, and because it's very few characters.
Why do you live here?
Because
That's a great question.
Because this is
and he
where
really lived in L. He kind of lived everywhere.
I hate it here, and I'm stuck here because I've got family here.
You
but
know what-
I
you know
would
what's funny?
move to California and Arizona
No,
in a minute.
he won't do it.
I
He won't do
hate
it.
L.A.
He won't do
I
it.
lived out there. I was doing some movies in L.A. and I just
Do you know the movie Rockstar? Remember the movie
Yeah.
Rockstar?
No.
He's in that.
That's Mark Wahlberg,
He won't
right?
tell you. He won't tell you about it unless you ask him.
Is it Mark Wahlberg?
Yes.
San Diego's like,
I love
So-
San Diego.
oh my
Have
God,
you
it's
watched
so
Mark
gorgeous.
Wahlberg's
I go up
workouts?
to Fallbrook
Wait, what?
and stuff
He
like
has
that.
a
Wahlburgers?
Instagram. Yeah.
No, I know there's a
He gets up
restaurant
at,
If
like,
I didn't have family here,
I know.
I'd be so out of here.
Gets up
I'd
at
be
2:30
gone.
workout.
Gone.
Yeah, I believe
Life's
it.
too short to
I've
live.
always
Crazy.
stayed here. I've always loved it here. So,
But now when you were when the Rockstar movie filming was right before 9/11, right? And you
Yeah,
were going
Hey,
to
that's
move,
with Jen
you were
Aniston.
going to move out there, right?
no, I you know what? I the first time I saw California in the daytime, I remember I sat there because I flew in at night,
Oh.
and it was
I
springtime.
flew in once over wildfires. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, those are awesome to fly over. So, but I flew in. I
It's
flew in.
unfortunate, but
I don't think the
it's-
people down there
No,
experience
but it was something to
That's
see. It
awesome.
was
It's
something
crazy to see.
Yeah.
It's surreal.
Yeah.
But when I flew out to LA for the first time, I flew in at night, and it was springtime, and when you see LA or like the mountains, like
Right.
up where Zach lived,
So gorgeous.
It was beautiful because it was
So-
green.
it's amazing.
And
Gorgeous.
it was like, and I remember calling my mom, going, "Pack my shit, pack my
Yeah.
kid, we're moving out here."
Never moving.
And then I remember going out there in the summertime, going, "What the fuck is this desolate fucking wasteland?" Because this isn't what I saw like 3 months ago.
Right.
And but yeah, I mean, even like Ozzy would be like, "Hey man, why don't you move
Oh,
out here and
yeah.
live out here in LA?" I'm like, "Fuck that, man! I live in Pittsburgh. I'm 5 hours away. I can hop on a U.S. Air flight
Not
and
anymore.
anytime you need me."
American now.
Yeah, but at the time it was U.S.
Yeah.
Air,
Yep.
and I'm like, I could be there in 5 hours because
Right.
this is where I live and this is where I want to live. And
California is amazing. I think it's amazing.
when you go up north, oh my god,
I love Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara's
Barbara's beautiful.
beautiful place I've ever seen.
No, that's
You like LA?
I don't like L.A. I like
I
San
don't
Diego.
No, bypass LA.
I like
Big Sur is my favorite.
Big Sur's nice.
Big Sur is
Monterey.
awesome.
I lived in Malibu for a bit when I was out
Shit.
there.
Yeah.
I went to my friend graduated law school at Pepperdine.
Yeah, Pepperdine's nice. Yeah.
And that graduation, man, June gloom or what's it called? There's a lot of fog, I guess. So we're at Pepperdine University, which is on the cliffs to the ocean.
it's on the coast,
and you couldn't see the ocean.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
and it's only right there.
I know.
But
It's
the thing
crazy.
is,
but Pam Anderson was there.
Wait,
Ew.
Pam Anderson was there.
it's all right there. And Pepperdine's
Yeah.
like the beginning of Malibu.
So you
She lived right there.
Yeah,
And she walked power walked the campus.
Ah.
And so, like,
Did you say anything to her?
no, but I know somebody who did. I can't name, but older dude, and he was like, all a tizzy.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
and he's
Tommy
like,
Lee.
she's like, well, hi, my name's. She's like, hi, bye, like whatever. She's like, oh my god. And she didn't even look that good. I mean, you know, she's.
Is it like this is the modern Pam Anderson? Not
This was like 2005.
It's a whole other world, California.
Yeah.
She was still hot.
Yeah. I don't get it. Like I go to L.A. It hasn't been that many times. I just don't get what the attraction is. I just don't.
I love if you go to Santa Barbara. I promise you.
Santa Barbara's nice.
I like San Diego.
San Diego's
San
nice.
Diego.
Coronado Bay is
San
wonderful.
Diego's
Laguna.
incredibly beautiful.
I love
Oh,
Laguna.
La Jolla.
Yeah.
Oh, La Jolla is
But
something.
L.A. to me, like getting in a taxi, because my trip was generally to Anaheim, so I'd have to fly into LAX, get a taxi, or share a taxi, and then have that drive all the way to Anaheim,
Down
or
to
get a
Anaheim.
rental, and it's just like the traffic, the smog, but the fucking people. They're not New Yorker
Not
ignorant,
Boston rude.
but there's just so many of them. I mean, it's just they're every fucking where.
I feel like New York and Boston, they're born and raised. They earned it.
yeah.
LA, they're not born and raised. They're
No,
plastic.
you can never find
They're
somebody from.
wannabe.
They're entitled wannabes. And so, like New York and Boston, I appreciate the rudeness because I'm like, yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
you're
Well, there's some
like, you're-
heritage there.
I took
Right.
I took my firstborn to Boston shopping one day, and it was the day that flight in Aliquippa crashed.
Or that been early
Flight
90s.
376, I think it was.
Yeah. 93.
376 was Malaysia.
94.
429.
She was
1949.
She was born in 94,
429.
so it was either 94 or 95.
I think it was 94.
It was the same year Princess Diana died.
That would have been 97.
I don't know.
Yeah, that
Anyways,
was 97. How
Anyways.
do you know that so readily?
I'm like the Rain Man when it comes to dates. I don't know.
It was 97 because that was my first year in law school.
Yeah, I know where I was at certain time. Like you say, for instance, I know I was driving on this highway and who was in the car, what day it was.
Oh,
I'll tell you.
gosh.
It's weird.
All right. Anyway.
Okay, back to relationships. Like, what happened with your marriage?
Well,
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
that is in paddle we call that's a slam.
I don't know what happened right here, but
Would you break?
That's all right. We're good.
She's still on.
We're okay.
She's still on. Still.
We're
I mean, 4 kids, that's a lot.
I have a lot of
3
kids.
pregnancies, but yeah,
Yes,
4.
3 pregnancy, 4 kids. Anyway, okay. that's a lob. Catching.
You're going to serve it back.
I might serve it back. I'm going to give her a minute. You know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, something's wrong, and
That was my first marriage, yeah.
and the thing is, you think it's him, and he thinks it's you, and then as time passes, you realize it kind of parses out on both.
Yeah, there's always fault on
Both
both
things.
sides.
There's always fault on both sides.
But that's a good segue because this is a big picture question I wanted to get to today. It's a good
Oh,
segue.
fuck.
Good segue.
Yeah. What?
So what we do on this show is we have a UFO series too, and we're not going to go down UFOs. We're not going to do that.
I'm pretty sure that's where he came from.
Well, there's the tie-in.
Okay.
But within the confines of that UFO show that we do with Fred and James and Julia, we often talk about reality.
Wait, James and Julia. I know I've watched your show.
James Krug. Is it Krug or
They're
Krug?
musical something, right? They're
promoters, yes. Well, Julie and her husband are.
Yeah.
But on the UFO show, we talk about a lot of stuff that's interesting and people
Okay.
seem to dig it. But the
Go
question, we talk about reality. And, relationships and relationship problems, it really does come down to everybody's own reality, and they're not the same. We think reality is one constant thing that we're out there maneuvering and we're all affecting each other and we're all hurting the same way. We're not. And we really live in our own space, completely in our space. And how
We
I
do.
look at this interaction,
Do you
it's
know
just
what else
different.
is
It's
the-
just different. And relationships, what brings to the forefront of how fucking different realities are for everybody.
Do you know how great it is that some people come into your life at certain times just for that small amount of time
The chance
for what you need,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's gone?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay,
part of
but
the
I
human
mean that's
condition.
one thing that gets you by. But the thing is about But what you're
Some
talking
realities just go way over my head. But I catch up and I find out. I figure it out.
But what you're talking about is what I'm struggling with. Is again, like I come from a very old school family,
Right.
And I can't fathom why someone would choose not to be in our family for what? Like I'm almost waiting.
Yeah.
Because
Waiting for what?
to see what was better.
Yeah, what the major malfunction is.
What
Yeah.
In other words, why? You know, because what I can see
Causation. Like, what is the reason?
Everybody can get in a new relationship, find
You
someone
can
new.
choose any day to be with someone different. You're
Thank
right.
you.
Every day. It's a choice. It is
easy.
a choice to be in a relationship.
That is
it's
easy.
a choice.
The work comes in.
Yes.
And bygone, I believe in being happy at whatever. But when there's little lives at stake,
Yes.
Yeah.
Other
I'm
people's
thinking you can
hearts.
adult a little bit
Yeah.
and work it out and like live in half-assed happiness.
that's
Because guess what?
heartbreaking.
That's all you're living in anyway when you leave me.
But is that reality now? Not even for
Yes.
your unique situation. I'm saying in reality, adulting, whatever that phrase came about 10 years ago, what does it really mean anymore?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what.
Because-
I'm going to tell you every single lesson I tell my kids every day is what we're shitting the bed on as adults.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're gonna have to do
Perfect.
something you
And-
don't. You're gonna
yeah.
have to do something you don't want to do. You have to honor your commitments. You,
You
have to
know,
blah 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 blah.
when-
And I'm not living it.
When
Or at
my
least
when
I
my
tried.
daughter, my oldest daughter, got married, she wrote me a letter and it broke my heart and I just cried. And she's like, "Thank you for showing me that there's more to life than what's right here."
Yeah,
there
that's
is.
deep.
And listen, and I
That's
gotta tell
deep.
you, it doesn't lie all on us. It
No.
takes a village, and it's fine.
It does. It does.
and that's okay. We
And
don't
my,
need to be
my
everything.
ex-husband was a wonderful man. He just wasn't for me, but he was a great father. I wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not for me.
I mean, we're all guilty of it, right? But at the end of the day, it's like there's sometimes to show up, and there's sometimes you can just like bounce.
But what I'm saying to you is, I think that type of ability to really not just ponder selfish decisions that we might have pondered 10 years ago, but now in today's society, not only are you pondering it, people are actually fucking doing it. There's less holding us
encouraged.
There's less holding us together, or
Yes.
less holding the fabric of society together today than there was in years prior. And I'm not just it isn't one generation versus another. It really is based upon the propelling, I believe, of technology and the enhanced communications. But there's also something else breaking down, and that's going to be whether it's morals or what's right and wrong. I don't know, but something is breaking down in the way we communicate
It's scary.
and what we value.
I feel
what
like
do we value?
You
Yeah,
brought
it's
up
scary.
badminton. I feel like old school volleyed into new, and then we're gonna volley back. I swear to God, people are now going to the extreme of the other thing, like no social media, family only.
I'd love to see that, but I don't think it'll
Yeah,
happen.
it's not. We have to have a medium.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, in another interesting point about us getting along and trying to maybe going back old school was I listened to Rogan like I typically do. He had Tulsi Gabbard on, who's a Democratic. I think she ran for president. She's from Hawaii. She's a congressperson. She hates politics. She just hates it. When she was in there, she hated it. So the Democratic machine couldn't grab her, and the Republicans tried to destroy her because she's a Democrat. So she really was kind of a fish out of water, nowhere to go. And she ran for president, and that's, I think, Hillary Clinton's campaign said that, well, she's a Russian spy or something. Meanwhile, she's a decorated soldier, 2 tours
Yeah,
as a woman.
yep.
The whole thing is she really was a fish out of water. And when you listen to her talk, it really comes down to, like, nothing is what we ingest as a society, what we believe to be true, we're being told to be is truth. That's not reality. She says, if you could see what really happens in the
We don't know
walls of society,
a 3/4 of
no,
what's
what
real.
really happens, we just are communicating with each other in a very caustic way. And she gave up because she could not.
Keep up.
She couldn't keep up, and she also realized that no matter what her intentions were, and no matter how altruistic her work was, it wasn't going to break through in a big way. It's just there's the mechanisms in place to keep everybody dumb through our own laziness, and she sees it from Washington. She sees it in the system, so it's very telling to me.
They plant conversations, so we stay there while they're doing
exactly
other
what
things.
she said, 100%.
Yeah.
It's keeping us divided. It's the Russians' fault, or it's the Chinese fault, or whatever.
So then we're all distracted by that.
And some
while
of that's
real
true,
shit's going on.
but the people that are pulling, the people that have the real weight in this country will use that as an excuse to further keep us divided while all the other things going on behind the scenes. And I know I'm talking like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm telling you, to listen to her talk about deals that are made in Congress that she was privy on or she would see happen, and she's revealing it all now because she has really nothing to lose. She doesn't think she does. She was just basically stating that the reality that we think, what we believe to be true as citizens, is not a portion of what really is going on.
It's like, should we even care?
And that's why I think we're susceptible to conspiracies like QAnon, because we're reaching, and some of this stuff is destructive. Some of these conspiracies are very destructive, but people are questioning, but are we really? If you grab onto a team and rah and don't flesh it out, that's not questioning anything. Questioning anything is making rational decisions. And she's saying that we're not doing that because we're innately lazy and we've been conditioned. Life's easy. I mean, if you could really go and talk to your parents or that generation and then the generation before them, this is an incredibly easy life. It just is. Everything is spoon-fed.
Yeah.
You can get a job anywhere. If you just want to exist and eat pizza and watch TV, you can do that. You can go work at Home Depot.
Yeah, now you're going to make $15 an hour.
But the point is, you can do it. You can survive if you just want to exist. You can do it. You couldn't do that 30, 40 years ago. You really had to do something with your life. And I think that today, the laziness of existing, coupled with being just the availability of everything, is just causing us not to think. And hearing her say it as a former congressperson was an eye-opener to me, like, wow, we just don't have the whole story. And I can see why it'd be easy to tune out, because if we're not being told the truth, or not really even, maybe we can't even understand what the reality is, then why even pay attention to it? That's my thing. That's why I'm indifferent. I have a lot of indifference to a lot of things. It's because I feel like I'm helpless, and I'm being lied to anyways. And I know I'm going to be lied to during the day. With work that I do, why would I want to conceptually be lied to? Because I went and sought out the lie? I'm not going to seek out the lie. The lies are going to come to me anyways, but I don't care about big picture stuff when they're going to lie to me anyways. That's kind of where I'm at from an indifference standpoint.
But the difference is you recognize the lies.
Do I?
Well,
I don't know. I'd like to think I do, but who knows?
Yeah.
I think you look really great today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Is that Adidas?
I don't recognize those
Is that
lies.
Adidas he's wearing?
Yeah, you need to go to the bathroom? All right, take a break.
Hey.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
She's like,
I'm like,
What do we got here?
are we on or are we not on? That's the thing about this place is you'll never know when you're actually being recorded.
That sounds,
I wondered about that the
that
other
sounds
day.
like a Dateline special.
When
but
I left here the other day, I was like, was the camera on?
I mean, I'll let you go on that one. Dude, cue the police.
Whatever happened, they say stop. That's the segue right there.
Pittsburgh police, please come save me.
Whatever happened to that
Did you
show?
say Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh?
I said Pittsburgh.
Oh, because my boyfriend, he's like a real Pittsburgh.
Well,
I'm like,
dump
what
him
are you
right
talking
now.
about?
What did we just talk about? Where did the letter T go?
Yeah, I think that too. Like, I live in Center Township, but
Center.
everyone says Center.
So it's like you.
And I teach phonics
There's
every day,
no,
so.
yeah, T. What is the other letter that is?
My brother's name is Martin.
Oh.
And I say Martin.
I say Martin.
I say Martin.
Yeah,
missed
that
the
drives
T.
me out of my fucking
No,
head.
But then when I call him Marty, it's fine.
We can't get into the Pittsburghese talk because it's fucking horrible.
Like, what
I've
do you
never.
mean?
I can't speak because I'm from Western New York, and that's more horrible.
Like,
Why is it
the
more
things
horrible?
people
It's like-
say here in
It's
Pittsburgh,
bad. It's like Chicago.
it's horrible.
Fred, lay a couple sentences of
who
Pittsburgh on
says
it.
yins?
What you guys want to know about Pittsburgh?
Oh,
There's all kinds of things you guys got to know about Pittsburgh. You got down the south side and that. Down there, you go to bars like Dawn's
what's
and
the guy you
Sean's.
sound like right now?
Anybody in Pittsburgh?
No, that's that one.
Pittsburgh Dad.
The guy.
Pittsburgh Dad.
No.
Oh, I met him.
Oh yeah.
He's real nice. Yeah, you should try to get him on here.
Yeah, I think he may be too good for this show.
No, come on. No one's too good for this show.
Not yet. Maybe someday.
I mean, I'm in here, so
That's true. That
you
is
might
true.
You might have a point.
You might be my first Swickleyite in here.
Oh God!
No, I
don't
say
ever
most-
try
Most
to-
of them won't do it.
Well, Sam was in.
They
Sam
won't
was
cross the river.
But I'm
Most
not a
people are
Swickleyite.
swimming across.
I had to use
Wait.
Sam's directions.
Do you know, like,
And he lived there, and I worked for him decades prior. That's crazy, man. And what is it about that?
What?
Swickley folks won't cross the fucking bridge.
They don't
no,
have
there's
to.
a lot of people that won't cross bridges. When my ex-husband sold real estate, he said how people like would have anxiety crossing the bridge to go.
I'm telling you, the girls
Look at
I know
how-
from
Really?
Swickley would kick your ass. Like they are real folks.
I know. There's a lot of
I
amazing.
think
They take
you're-
kickboxing at the YMCA in
See,
No,
Swickley.
I really-
no, I'm
with
thinking you're generalizing.
peeping toms.
I am absolutely. It's a stereotype for sure. When I was a kid, we always in the early '80s when the prep thing came about, I just thought that
What
was
exactly
just
does that
Swickley
mean?
because they were dressing like that in the '70s. It was the little BMW 3
Oh,
Series.
I married one. My ex.
My
is
God,
with
are we
Swickley
talking about
Academy,
Gilmore
whatever.
Girls here?
No,
But I'm
no, no,
telling
no, no.
you,
The
they're
prep,
still like one of the nicest families ever.
I know. What I'm saying though, what we saw over here,
That's your own
We
shit.
dressed with like Sears Roebuck clothes,
The Ranimals.
animal tracks, tennis shoes at Kmart. I mean, my point
Wait,
is,
did you say tennis shoes? Because I've never heard of tennis shoe, tenor shoes.
I said tennis shoes.
till I moved here.
He said it correctly. Tennis. He got
Yeah,
all
tennis.
the letters in.
but
Or was it paddleball shoes?
pickleball,
Pick-
pickleball,
No, I
I'm
don't
playing
know.
pickleball.
Curling.
curling.
Curling. Hurry!
I don't get it.
That's what they say, right?
Give me the broom,
I just
sweetheart.
tell you what, I
I do that every day, but just not for that.
I miss skiing. That was fun.
I want to know where the letter T went. Now you're an educator. Like when you hear the letter disappear.
Every
Does it
letter,
not, like-
letter sound you make has to have like a short I sound after it,
Like what do you mean?
B, not buh.
So
Like bit-
we're getting lazy in language. Is
Yes.
that is?
Yeah.
We're lazy in everything.
And it's I don't know.
See, I always
I
thought
don't
slang was its own unique thing. Like individual
In
words,
area-
like
I
the
feel
word.
like
Oh
you
my
can
gosh.
only use slang if you're actually intelligent. Because people know then you know better, but you're just being
Yeah.
cool.
I wonder
You're
how-
not the word cool in general. If you
You're
say
not
it right,
cool until
How do
people know that.
How do other countries perceive us? Like, okay, so you've got
we're
okay,
assholes.
okay, in our but in
Amen.
our
Freddy
own
will tell you.
country, you've got Pittsburghese,
Yeah,
you've got
American.
a Boston accent, you've got a Southern accent that's totally.
I think with
can't
other countries,
stand.
other countries have that.
Other
though.
countries have
Yeah, they
dialects.
do.
yeah.
But yes, they do different dialects with, especially the Brits as well.
Yeah, because there's the London accent, the Cockney accent,
Yeah,
like the
Cockneys
Wales.
are the
Cockneys are the Pittsburgh.
yes, they so are. They are.
It's the truth.
Oh God.
I just well,
I think we need to switch this topic.
why? You know, like phonics, hooked on phonics.
Mm.
We gotta buy. That's what they should do with the stimulus check. We'll give them the
Oh.
$1,400, and we're gonna buy everyone in this country, every man, woman, and child, a hooked on phonics.
So you learn how to speak properly
So you
during the
learn
rest of the pandemic. By the end of it, we'll all be speaking.
Wait,
the
I will
rain
say
and
what
the
I
plane.
can't stand. I
Listen.
cannot stand when people say my car needs washed.
No,
Whoosh,
what
whoosh.
about wait?
No, my car needs to be.
No,
washed.
no.
To be watched.
I
What-
can't do it.
How do they say where was you? What in the fuck is that?
Where was you?
that
you?
was that's
Where'd
not.
Jins go?
That's Pittsburgh East to the
Yes, well,
I
but
can't.
also, what else is in doubt right now, and it also is in play with, I think, generations coming up, is that we're losing prepositions. Like prepositions
Well,
are
yeah.
being pulled out of sentences now.
Oh, God.
And we go from was it noun to verb or verb to noun?
Yeah,
but
it's like the shortest way to say something.
like
Where are you?
Like the crazy where you where you now?
Oh wait,
now
when people say where you at, I
I
want to
can't.
fucking die.
Okay.
Where are you at? Where are you at?
They don't even put "at" on it anymore. It's "where are you?"
Where are you at?
So okay now all
because
right,
they're probably
now look,
driving.
now
Where
look.
are you?
Now look. Now, is that a symptom innocently of just the texting generation shortening
no,
things?
that's Pittsburgh.
Or is
No,
that
I that's not fair. I think it is. I think it's everywhere because
you think it is?
a lot of,
I don't know.
yeah.
like I heard a guy in a business meeting about 4 years ago that I thought had way more paper than me, and an extremely
Do you
educated.
say paper by degrees?
Yes,
Okay.
like education. Yeah,
Education.
Education. So he's giving this dissertation, and at the end, he did something wrong or something, and he goes, "Oh, my bad." Ruined the entire thing for me. I was so mesmerized by hearing a good, articulate speaker on a good subject. I was into it, and at the end, he said, "My bad." I was stunned.
so bad.
Well, you now are accepting it. See, I will not
Right.
accept
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That is just not good English. It's not good. It's just, I don't think it's just.
It's not out there.
It's not business.
No,
And
but there's pomp and
Wait.
circumstance of positions. And I buy into that. I think if you're a Supreme Court justice, you ought not have been questionably raping a woman 30 years ago. My bad shouldn't come out of a man that's like this high-end thing. There's 8 people in a generation that can hold these offices, and they ought to measure up.
Yes, I agree.
Period.
I agree wholeheartedly. Whoop.
Wait,
Period.
how
That's
do
right,
I
you're good.
hear educators in my school district say the word yins?
Yeah,
You're going to have to accept that.
No, I won't ever.
but that's
not
a
If you
territorial.
want a job, you're gonna
That's a
have to accept it.
territorial thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like y'all in the South.
yeah,
Yes,
yes. But
I say all y'all. How's that from
All
Buffalo?
y'all.
yeah.
Yeah, all
And
y'all.
I'm
See,
not
I
even
would've
from
thought
anywhere.
that was Texas.
All y'all.
All y'all.
Oh, I just
Better listen
I guess
to me.
in Philly and my area it was you guys.
Use.
Yeah, yous and you guys. Yeah.
Use guys.
Use guys.
So you know what's interesting? I went to Syracuse University for law school, and I was right next to the Newhouse School of Broadcasting, where Bob Costas went to.
I love
yeah,
how you
yeah,
knew
yeah.
what Rittenhouse Square was. Because many people don't. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, this was Syracuse, but they learned. So when I got on moot court, and you went to the school, every newscaster used to learn a non-dialect.
Yeah, that's when I went. That's what
Right.
we were taught.
Oh,
so
so when you're
I
down
learned
south.
how to not have my Buffalo accent.
Got it. Got it. Got
So
it,
that
got it, got
when
it.
you're talking to a jury,
right,
they can't
stereotype you.
relate to you.
Right.
They're relating to the case only.
Absolutely.
So I got away with now you're saying I have some things left of my accent.
Slight.
Ah.
Slight.
I could turn it on all day long, but I don't. But when I go home, I hear it with my
Well, you-
sisters and
you
my
fall
friends.
back into it 'cause you're
holy
comfortable.
shit, it's
Yeah.
so bad, and I don't tell them
Yeah.
because I'm not. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have an accent at all.
But isn't it fascinating though how, like, I've got friends who moved to South and right out of high school, and they're completely
What's
talking like
South?
Southerners.
What do you mean moves? Oh, they moved down
this
south.
Georgia.
Okay.
I have 2 in Florida.
Yeah.
Now Florida's interesting. Northern Florida, it's still kind of southern. Once you get like to the middle of Florida and down, that's its own whole thing.
I
right
don't
there.
think
I don't think
Floridians
Florida
have an
counts.
accent.
I don't think Florida counts.
Well, maybe Jacksonville in that
because
area
it's
up there.
such a melting pot down there.
Yes, but generally
I
speaking,
never think of Florida
Or-
Floridians having an accent.
I think Northern Florida may. Gainesville. That's Gainesville, Georgia. The Jacksonville area of Florida. But anyways, you can move there, and some people will adopt, and some will not.
My brother's lived in Amarillo, Texas since 1990. He's definitely a Texan now. Like
Yeah,
the
it
way
happens.
he talks.
But I think about some of the famous people that I know that I paid attention to, like Johnny Rodden's lived in California for 30 years now, for 35 years, and he still speaks like he's still in London. like
wow.
exactly.
Are we gonna bring up
Did you
Madonna?
say London?
Madonna?
Madonna.
Oh, what did she do?
Well, she does everything.
What'd she do?
She does every accent.
Really?
Yes.
She adapts to where she
do
moves to, where who she's with.
not my
She
feet up.
absolutely does every accent.
Well, I know that it's funny because
She's insane.
politicians do it too. Politicians adapt. Bill Clinton has done it. Barack Obama does it. They turn into the part of the country that they're speaking in.
You know, I met Bill Clinton at a funeral as a sitting president. We were in Syracuse.
Okay.
And there's a place called Skinny Atlas, New York, which is south of Syracuse, like, kind of. And it's really cute, quaint town. And one of his biggest supporters died.
Okay.
And my office, I had just graduated law school, I was 24, and he was coming to this funeral of this guy who was like a big campaign promoter. I'm telling you,
Okay.
that man could have. He has a charm.
He has a presence, Bob.
Holy
Yeah.
mackerel! He walked down the thing at a funeral, and me and my paralegal were there, and we're like, "Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you." On his way back, he's like, "Katie, Leslie, get back to work." He remembered our names.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we were 20
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. He had a presence about him.
He's smart. He's a politician.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's not alone in this, but they will adapt to the audience.
He's one of the best that can adapt to it.
They're chameleons.
Yes.
They're
Man,
absolutely chameleons.
This
Yep.
conversation's gone like, woo.
That's what we do here. That's what we do here.
Rabbit
No, that's
holes.
why he can press pause and stop.
Press pause and stop.
Well,
So-
I figure I tour everywhere, and I tour with a bunch of different people from different places. And the guys from Jacksonville used to laugh that said when I would get drunk, my Pittsburghese would come out and it'd sound like a bad Floridian.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
Pittsburgh
mom was
accent.
like, please don't move. I almost moved there for a teaching job. My mom was like, please don't. It's a stinky paper town, like paper mill town.
Pittsburgh.
No, Jacksonville.
Oh, Jacksonville. Fred, you spent so much time overseas all those years.
What's your favorite place?
What the ugly American? Are we an ugly American?
We are ugly
We are.
Americans.
We
are
are.
very ugly
I
Americans.
don't doubt that.
And, and I've said several times about, in India with people being so gracious and they have nothing and they're giving everything to me. And it's just like, I don't want to be an ugly American. But yeah.
So you love curry?
I curry's not bad. And I've eaten it everywhere, and the food in India, like I've said in the prior podcast, it was delicious,
Except the rat water.
except for the rat. But the thing is, I've adapted to, being in acting and being in stuff like that, where I'll be able to adapt an accent. I've been trained proper, and I can just take on the accent.
Wait, I want to hear it. Okay, so what can you do?
I just.
Give us your.
What do you like to do?
Best
British?
Like-
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to spot.
Well, you sold yourself. Let's go.
But the thing is
okay.
that's just part of being in the country. Like if you go to France. Now what I try to do is learn key phrases to get me from here to there.
Right.
Yeah.
And you eat really good cheese and breads.
They have good cheese and breads and good wine. But that's the thing, and people are like, because in all honesty, if you go to France and you're the ugly American, you're gonna get spit in your water. But if you at least put forth an effort, they're and they can all speak English. Don't let them fool you.
Yeah.
They all speak English no matter where you go. But that's exactly if you put forth an effort to speak properly, like everybody, like my Russian teacher when I was in college and I had Russian class, he said I spoke with a very good Moscow accent. Well, I can't remember anything from 30 years ago speaking Russian, but when I go to Russia and I try to do basic things, like ask basic questions, they're like, oh, you've got a Moscow accent. But that's how I learned, because I learned from a guy with a Moscow accent.
The dialect.
You're reminding me of the Queen's Gambit right now.
I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh,
I
I watched it
haven't
like
seen it
3
either.
times. I love it. I don't know.
See, I got to watch all these. That's what I should be doing. I've been binge watching like Netflix
I
shows.
know, because we have time. Yeah.
But I have to start watching
Slackers.
like good movies,
TV.
Have you
local
seen
television.
Dr. Foster?
No.
Watch it.
Oh,
2
I
seasons.
will.
Short. It's really good.
Doctor Who?
Foster.
I've seen
Doctor
it
Who?
on Netflix.
Foster's Lager.
Doctor Who. Doctor Who's like, again, your generation.
Is there like 10 Doctor Who's? No, is there really like 10 different series? Doctor?
I don't know.
Bunch of different Doctor. I was never into it, but yeah, it seems like every time you turn on TV, there's a new Doctor Who.
Yeah. Okay, so to wrap this up, last question.
Oh gosh.
Last
I feel like we
question.
can go on for hours, but
We
okay, let's
probably
wrap it up.
could. We probably could.
There's a Super Bowl tonight.
Is there?
A what? There's no soccer game tonight. Come on.
Where do we go with this pandemic? Is there an end? Do you think we're trending toward an end? Do you think people can maybe kind of come together to try to kill this thing off? Is there any hope of that? Let's start with you.
I mean, I don't know.
Lobbed it over.
Okay.
On paddle, do you use a racket or what do you use?
Are you done? I'll whip your freaking ass. You come play with me any day of the Y, and I will throw down.
Ping pong. Ping pong,
Oh, okay.
cricket, badminton,
Okay.
all more.
I played paddle
The next time we reconvene, he'll have a scar from my beatdown.
from a paddle. You'll be
Yes.
like little wiffle ball holes in your ass or whatever.
I mean, speaking as someone who doesn't work and is a stay-at-home mom,
Okay.
I can't
Greatest job ever, by the way.
I can't
Hardest job.
I can't
Yes.
receive that question the same way you're going to volley it to other
That's
people.
why we're asking it.
Okay.
Yeah, I want your thoughts on it.
On my hand, like I am going to have to deal with whatever the schools say,
Right.
you know, but at the same time, I am going through a divorce.
Right.
And with that comes, you know, will I have to work?
Did
And
we?
so I can't work. Like, who's going to hire me right now? But anyway, the pandemic hit right when that hit. So, getting back to that, I was just, I'm dealing with it as a mom, stay at home, whatever. So I'm at the mercy of the schools.
Okay.
You know, I really am.
I'm happy you get to stay home.
I'm
because that is
thrilled
that's
I get to stay home.
priceless in life.
Yes,
That's
I'm
priceless.
thrilled
I stayed home for 5 years. It was priceless.
Yeah, it's epic. But I'm also if the pandemic hadn't happened, I would love to get back out there and work and you know,
okay.
yeah. But I just it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, no one can get a job now.
Right.
I haven't been in the work field for 12 years.
I mean,
How would I roll myself out?
like, what do you mean?
Like, how would I get a job? Other than, I mean, I could do
Head on
real estate.
I think you could.
Oh, thanks.
No, you could.
I'm used to being devalued. It doesn't make any difference.
You could do it.
I
You
just
could
keep
do it.
rolling
You're just
along.
not used to.
I'm not
idea.
used to, right. I'm not used to
You
going
can
into
do it,
something
though it's
else.
there.
Like, I don't want to learn anything else. I feel like I've went to school
Real estate's
for-
perfect.
I've actually thought of it.
Real estate.
See?
Oh! You and I could roll
There
it out.
you go.
We
There
go to
you
class
go.
together.
Yes.
You become a team.
Work with Eric.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think that's, I mean, and it's such a changing thing. Like, one day we're in, one day
Wait,
we're
what?
out.
Did you say your
The
oldest are
pandemic.
10?
Yeah. 10, 9, and 8.
Yeah, that's work.
And they're
It's still work.
super cute.
Yeah.
God. I don't know. They sucked the best out of both of
Yeah.
us. And they're smart as
They're
shit.
work, and you know what? This is the time of their life that they need you to be home. So it's
Yeah.
good that
So
you
I mean,
are.
sometimes
It's worked
that's good
out.
that that's the blessing that you could be.
Yeah, and their dad is cool with that.
Oh my God, my oldest is 26.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Drink up,
Drink up. Drink up. That's great.
Grandma.
All right, Fred, I'm coming to you, man.
Don't ask me questions.
I'm coming to you, brother.
What's the question?
You haven't even been drinking over
Fred's
there.
already done. He's gone.
Where's that bottle? He's like,
I
I had to hide.
do we
shit.
have any chance of getting past this, man?
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll, you know,
Will
I mean,
science take over, or will we help it by maybe finding some kindness?
no, you know what?
What
Science.
does that mean? I
Yeah,
wanna
what's
know
that mean?
question first.
Yeah, because science, whether we're bad people or not, and treat each other terribly and get worse, is science will take care of things, and it'll pass through our society.
I don't think we're treating each other horribly.
But if we treated each other, okay, we'll get there.
If we treated each other a
treat each
little
other
bit
better
better,
with more consideration, maybe we would help the science.
it would go a little bit quicker.
Yeah, maybe.
And I actually believe
Science
it.
is gonna take care
Of
of
course,
it.
this will pass. Everything passes.
Yeah.
But the thing is how long do we want to, prolong it? How long do we want to drag this out? I
ridiculous.
think that if we know that it will eventually pass. It's happened for the past, and I've said this
Every
on other
100 years.
every 100 years since the 1600s.
Right.
There's been a pandemic on the 1920s.
Yep.
And that's where this one hit, right on cue.
It's like the plague happening, and we don't know how to deal with it.
If you look back in history, every 100 years at
Yeah.
this time period in time, there's a pandemic or an epidemic. And 100 years ago, it was the same, and we got past it. They got past it, and then they had the Roaring
They
20s.
wore masks.
And you know what? They wore their masks back then.
I think I would have liked the Roaring 20s.
They wore their masks back then, and again, it took 2 years.
Yeah.
These cats that want it to be instant,
And there wasn't the medical technology.
Yeah, there wasn't a shot to take. But the thing is, but back then people were respectful of one another. They wore their masks. And
They weren't denying the disease.
And you know, and nobody's constitutional right to bear a gun and wear a mask wasn't taken away.
But we weren't talking to each other. There wasn't any TV. There was no internet. There's no social
Exactly.
We weren't I didn't know what the guy across the river's doing with his life, nor would I care, right?
Because
I mean,
life was simpler and better.
Yes.
But people treat.
I think
there was
technology is not always a good thing.
there was a
except
respect for
medically.
people. There was a respect for people back then. Eventually, this will pass. How long at once? Look, man, there's nobody that wants to get back to work more than me, faster than me. You know, because this. I got to be honest. This last year's been devastating.
Yeah.
It's you're talking to a guy that works 18 hours a day, and I'm sitting around going,
you were never home.
Yeah.
yeah. Now I'm stuck at home going, you know,
Taking pictures of bugs.
taking pictures of bugs. You know,
Wait, what kind? The bugs aren't in your house, are they?
no.
That's actually a very good question, Fred.
These are bugs around my house. But the thing is again, you know, but it's what we make of it. But I want to get back to work.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure that a lot
We
of people
just
want to
wanna
get back to work.
to normal.
I'm sure you want to get back to being a normal mom. You know, and you want to get back to a normal classroom.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to sell real estate.
To my daughter.
I kind of am right now.
I want to get back to what I knew. You know what I mean? And for as crazy as it sounds, that's what I want. But how long's it going? You know, I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
I'm you know, for this next TV show I'm doing, and for this next TV commercial I'm doing, I'm quarantining. I'm wearing my mask. I'm you know, I'm avoiding crowds.
Right.
You know, but again, like I said the other day, somebody coming up to a window spitting on it because they got to wear a mask.
Crazy.
There's still that fringe out there that's holding us back. It'll pass because all things pass.
Right.
This
But
too.
how long do we want to
Fuck around with it.
fuck around with it?
Yeah.
And in all honesty, you know,
I feel like we're coming to a point like it needs to end.
It needs to end.
I just
it needs to end, but people need to listen.
Yeah.
Yes,
And it's not taking away your rights to comply. It's getting it over quick. Again, had we started wearing masks 3 weeks earlier,
Yep.
they said would have saved 50,000 lives at that time.
Or if everything just shut down for 2 weeks, like everyone prepared
Yes.
for a 2-week shutdown, done. It'll be gone.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know about that
We'll never
either.
know.
No, we'll never know.
Well,
So it's
and-
easy to blame people for not doing
Right.
it. Whatever.
I mean,
I feel like maybe if you wore a hairnet for a
oh
week,
God.
you would save 1,000 lives.
Yeah, because I know all the women are out there jealous, just jumping off of bridges because they wish they had long, luxurious locks.
It's like
Brought to you by
whenever-
Pantene.
when you-
Pantene Pro-V.
When you go like this, maybe it casts.
It's sad, like not
Don't-
sad, but
Hang
like,
on,
he's
hang
got
on, hang on, hang
nicer-
on, hang on,
he
ladies.
has nicer hair than us.
I know.
just-
It's
we
crazy.
just throw this out here.
Like
Hang on.
want to braid it or
It's
something.
raised.
Like can I feel
You have
that?
like reddish undertones.
Oh my God.
soft
Oh
and
my
nice.
God.
That's the Scandinavian in me.
All right, I'm bringing it to you. So, your thoughts? What, are you going to get past this? Can we start being nicer to each other? Is it possible?
I think people are being nice.
You do.
Yeah.
You think there's enough kindness right now, even with all this
my
social media
parents at school are very nice.
shit? Okay,
They're
so
very
from your
cooperative.
your
They're-
reality.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
It's just to the point. Like, when does it end?
When do we quit being scared?
Yeah. Well, okay.
'Cause I was a
When
little
it
scared
first
last
happened,
night.
say a year ago, when it like March, April of 2020,
Yeah.
like the reality was Chad's work.
Yeah,
People were dying. Like,
right.
And then
That's horrific.
Yeah. So, and then I'm like, if I didn't get COVID from you, you're exposed to it all the time, is this real? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't understand why that there are deniers in society. People that
There
are
are.
just
That's the
There
thing.
are.
and
There
again, I think it's a fringe. I think it's, and again, we are talking about them, but they probably represent like 1/1,000,000th of 1%.
And- yeah,
Okay,
and
but
you
we're
don't
talking
wanna-
about them like that's normality. That's not normal.
You don't want to be disrespectful for those that really did get sick. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the underlying thing is that people who did get sick and died. Like, I don't know, but
Before we wrap this up, do you think that social media is taking the very
social media.
extreme opinions of society, the very extremes, and making that or trying to project that as normal, thus causing a bigger divide?
Well, of course they are. That's
Yes,
how they sell.
absolutely. It's
That's how they get.
And it's very
Gives them a
small,
voice.
very
Yeah.
small. But
I hate social media. I do.
But
hate
of
it.
course they're doing that. I mean, you know that.
yes, so we're sitting here agreeing. But my question is, if that's really happening in society, and it's not hard for us to figure that out, why are so many people in society not figuring it out and acting accordingly?
Because
Why not?
I think they're
Why not?
scared.
Why
Back
not?
to your old adage,
They're scared.
they want to belong to something and mean something. They want to have a voice, and this is their voice.
So that's more important.
No,
that ego. No,
I'm
to
not
them,
saying
to
that they
them.
don't have a brain. I'm just saying that that's how they're
a lot
expressing
of
it.
these, A lot of these people don't have a brain because that's
Yeah.
why the way they are expressing it. Come on. When you look up to the Kardashians more than you
Oh,
look up to
God.
Dr. Fauci,
That's
you
something
know,
do not watch. I can't stand
in
it.
this world of a couple years ago, Honey Boo Boos,
Oh.
and all these reality shows,
Tiger King.
Tiger Kings.
Not watch
Yeah.
that either.
My God,
Just
I
can't.
here.
Now, I want to defend some of the reality show watchers.
Okay, let's do that.
Here's why. Because, I still have a brain, and I still like to turn it off now and then.
But what do you? Why do you,
Housewives of Dubai.
I don't watch that
my
either.
God.
there
I
isn't that one
watch-
yet.
I watch none of that. I
But the thing is, tell me why.
30 Day
Tell me why you watch
Fiancé.
it.
Well, it always
and,
have
I'm,
to.
and, I'm, and I'm not going to
No.
criticize over it.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I watch some. I don't anymore, but I used to, because my personality and my brain, I'm intense. So I'm all in, and then I'm all out.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be mom central, and then when they're in bed, I want
Yeah.
to fucking turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to watch something stupid, and
Something,
and
anything.
I don't subscribe
Yeah.
to it. But what I'm thinking is,
Mindless.
I'm still better off. And look at them.
Exactly. Well, that's why you do it.
Yeah.
And that
At
was
least she's honest
and-
about
yeah.
it.
and the precursor to these reality shows was the Jerry Springers and
right.
the shit like
Morton
that.
my gosh.
Downey Jr.
I remember Morton Downey.
My law school union, or my room where we all went to eat lunch, had that shit on because we were so overwhelmed
Wait.
with.
Eggs.
We just wanted to turn.
You
We're
wanted
like,
a break to get some
yeah,
comedy.
We were just
When
yes.
when I was getting divorced, my ex-husband contacted Jerry Springer.
Wait,
and
what?
wanted me
Hold up.
and my
Wait.
boyfriend to go on, and I said no
Oh.
fucking way. I will
we're
get
not
fired
in-
from my job.
We're not because I have not heard that.
Yeah,
And so
he did.
we will not
My
break this meeting up until he reveals his Jerry Springer.
Stop
I
it.
was on
Okay.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
oh wait, what?
Wait, were
Say
you
that
like
again?
the dad or not the dad?
I was the dad.
Oh,
Oh fuck!
And I went on, but here's me. This is me. I'm the opposite. I
Wait,
went
you
on
so you have
because,
kids?
because
You wanted to know
Stop.
if you were the dad.
because in Pennsylvania,
Tell the
a
whole story.
father has no legal rights to their child
yeah, it's
if
terrible.
their name's not on the birth certificate.
Really?
And so my name wasn't on the birth certificate. And I knew it was my child. It looked just like me, but I had no legal rights to my child.
That's horrible.
So I went on Sally
You
Jesse
gotta do it
Raphael.
with the voice.
Figured it out.
Oh my
So
god.
I went on Sally Jesse Raphael.
How to come about? No. You're not gonna go that fast
Do
forward.
you remember her glasses?
Yeah, I was gonna
red.
say her
She had
glasses.
Red. Okay, no.
She had her glasses on.
All right, how did this come about? This is worth
Oh my
it.
god,
This is-
you're
this
giving
is so-
me anxiety right
Hey,
now.
Don't do me a favor. Don't put your hand on this because it hums like a son of a bitch. Good.
But so I went on Sally Jesse Raphael, found out that the child was mine, and then a week later went in, and I had the legal right because I had the paper, picked up my child, packed up my shit, and moved out on the mom because we weren't married. and I took care of my child.
Well, I never knew my real dad, so. It's all
But
good.
the thing is but the thing is I mean, there were those shows. And for sensationalized, Springer was the thing was Springer was
Next
back in the
week,
day.
take two.
You got $100 for every blow you landed.
Dear God.
What do you mean?
Like how you see these people fight.
Yeah.
I give you $100, you rip her wig off. And I knew people that were on. Yeah, I knew people that were on his show. But Sally was a little bit more respectable, and so was Jerry, not Jerry Springer, but Maury Povich and shit like that, where they have that kind of thing. But the thing is a lot of these cats go on there, just to be on TV. I went on there with an agenda that I'm taking my kid.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did.
That's amazing.
And so, so it helped because I was making $8.50 an hour working at a TV station. There was no way I was affording a paternity test at the time, which was $1,500.
How did you find out you were going to be on the Sally Jesse Raphael?
My God, I was.
I bet you we could find this.
I was literally at work.
I'm sure.
And this is like pre-cell phone days. So they had to call me at work, and. It's
you dressed for this occasion?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
My God, I went on in a jacket and tie. The rest of them looked like trailer trash. I'm not even going to say it.
You're like,
but
I'm
you
the dad.
are the father.
But I went in, and that's what I did.
Good.
And
Hair
for the
out
mom,
or ponytail?
my hair was back, and for the mom, I bought her a business suit.
Nice.
And went on there. So you went on there. And
I love that you just said business.
Well, I did. I bought a
Business.
and I had her hair did, and but the thing is to me.
So it wasn't contentious? You guys
Oh my
were going
God, am I
on.
the only one that doesn't find this funny?
Hold
we all find it funny.
Hold on.
So yeah, oh yeah.
Hold on, it gets better.
Well, here's the thing.
It gets better.
It was under the whole guise of I don't believe that this child's mine when I knew it was mine to begin with. I just didn't have the money.
Right.
I didn't have the money to fork out to pay for this because I'm busting my
Sally
ass.
did it for you.
So I got paid to go get a $1,500 paternity test. And I got a trip to New York City.
Really
you could do it for $100 from Walmart. You swab the cheek.
But that was,
this is
again,
like 30 years ago.
You're talking 30 years,
Okay,
20
yeah,
20
30,
some years
Oh,
ago.
look at you, 30, 20 something.
Yeah, 20
You backed up that train quick.
Look, I look damn good for 51. But
I used to say that.
but the thing is I went on
shit,
not to be on television and not to be on I went on to get my kid.
Yeah.
Everything in my life's planned. I mean, I know where I got to be and I know what I got to do to get there. And that's what it was. My whole driven is I'm going to take my kid. I'm going to make a better life for her.
And you did.
So I went on the show, and people go, I can't believe you did that. It's like, really? Because
Why not?
why not? And I got it done for me.
I would
for
do
free.
anything for my kids.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so I went on, and I got it done, and I got a good story out of it. And it's the most silly shit in the world. But
Now, Eric, getting back to your question, when you knew you were in a pandemic, is when this go-getter is sitting here on a Sunday afternoon. That's when I know I'm in a pandemic.
like listen to you guys talk about being at home with your kids, and dude, I would love that.
Yes.
I would have loved to have had that opportunity because
I-
that's all I ever wanted to be.
Oh, I'm thankful my ex-husband, even though we weren't, he's a great dad, but we weren't good together, but I got to stay home for 5 years, and that was really,
No doubt.
that was the best.
See,
time ever.
I like my mom and dad, they raised me right, and they were
you
there.
know how funny this is? We go to Thanksgiving and Christmas. I take Chad.
Yeah.
We all can
Together.
go. Yeah,
See, that's
together.
great.
That's called being adults.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's great. And the kids, my kids are so
It's that silky-
thankful.
It's a silky
Smooth.
Pantene Pro-V.
They're they wouldn't have done it with Danny.
Yeah.
But they with,
Yeah, just being
they're
adults.
just yeah, this is
It's just
so
being
nice.
adults.
We don't have to do 2 Thanksgivings. We don't have to do 2 Christmases.
Amen to that. Did y'all have fun?
Yes.
I had a
This
blast.
is great. When's the second one? I'm ready.
We might do it. I gotta get this one edited first. I really appreciate
God.
this.
Make sure I look skinny.
You're super skinny.
Make me look beautiful.
Fred, I gave up on that a long time ago. I want to thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for doing this. It was an excellent time. It was funnier than I even thought it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be funny.
I feel like we didn't even touch half of the stuff we
That's what
wanted
usually
to touch.
happens on these.
Show too, man, because you never know.
Like,
you don't want to come up with too tight of an
touched
agenda.
everything.
You just want it to go.
Like, yeah, I just feel there's so much more we could have talked about.
But thank you.
Like,
You're welcome.
All right, friends, we
Peace
are
out.
out.
That was funny. I touched
my
everything.
dear God.
Hello, you're listening to the Eric McKenna Project.